All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you're all doing well. It's go time. So today we have a standard SFT tournament. Pretty big numbers, actually. I think we had over 40 people sign up today. So going to be a big fat one. I will be playing Kislev. Just wanted to play a little bit of a, horseman and use some of the big heavy calves. So we'll see how that goes. So let's go ahead and get this tournament started here in just a moment. Going to be refreshing all this and getting this party started. Yes, yes. All right, we'll have to see how Kislev is doing this season as well. Kislev sitting at a 51% win rate. Wow, 50 wins and 49 losses. So certainly looking a lot more balanced. Yeah, the jump scare. Yeah, it's all about the jump scare. Okay, so we're ready to go. Let's just go ahead and generate the brackets. Hopefully you guys checked in and everything. If you didn't, farewell to thee. Let's generate the bracket. Good luck, have fun. Yeah, it's going to be great. And of course, very, very soon, we'll be playing with the new stuff. Not today, obviously, but very soon. Cool. Looks like we're ready. Did I get a buy round? I don't think so. All right. So let's fire this up and get it going. All right. So here we are. Let's go ahead and announce to the players that it is go time. Goblins, we are live. Are live with round one. All right. Cool. Let's get it. Okay. So let's set this up. Let's say player battles. We actually won our first tournament the other day of the season. So we ended up playing an Empire SFT and we were able to get a win with that, which was pretty cool. Let's see. So Lahoot, I believe, is my opponent here. Hey, we're up. Let's see how this goes. Should be a good time. So the map for round one, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be what? I believe it might actually just be Borderlow Landing. All right, so we're on the right map. Cool. We'll get a nice screen blocker going as well. We'll figure it all out. Yes, the hybrid shooting of the gods is on the way. Yes, it's go time, man. Wasn't able to make it. Harrison, where are you at, man? We need your dreaded chaos in here. All right, so let's go ahead and get this. Get the blocker going. All right. Very cool. But yeah, in the next couple days, on the 4th is when we're going to be able to party with some of the new stuff. So that'll be very, very fun. I'm excited for that. It was like the perfect blocker for Kislev. Yeah. The Kislev prequel campaign is pretty cool. There's some really badass cinematics in that. All right, so there they go. All right. Awesome. Very, very Urson. So we're playing against Dark Elves, which I have an idea of how to play against the Druki. I've made mistakes in this matchup before, but I think today that we're going to be all right. So let's go ahead and fire this up, get a little bit of this, and we're going to get a bunch of you guys. Very good. And call it a day. Been playing Lizards and Dark Elves. Yeah, they're both really good factions. Dark Elves, I think, are sitting at like what, like a 56% win rate or something? They're doing very, very well at the moment. The Druki are certainly cackling all the way to the bank. All right. So as far as spell casting goes, we have a couple options. I don't know. Tricky hobbitses. This spell is obviously quite good. Dark Elves don't really ever bring anything super elite. Their elite units aren't terribly strong in my opinion, so you probably don't need to worry about that too much. All right. And obviously we know the Frostworm is popular in some matchups. Personally, I think against Dark Elves, it's not too much of an auto take in my opinion. But yeah, we'll have to see. Double Big Bear. If there is a matchup in which the bear is potentially good, I will bring it. I don't think that this is a matchup in which you want to bring the big bear. Dark Elves are one of the better factions in the game at just karate chopping your big fancy targets, right? Okay, so yeah, repeater crossbows, Dark Riders, they can respond to threats very, very quickly, right? You got to watch out. I had a dream I flew from Kislev to Los Angeles. That's a pretty wild dream. Yeah. Doesn't the big guy in the prologue turn into Daniel? I don't know. Maybe. I've only watched the cinematics. I actually never played I never played it myself. All right, so we got 2 of those. And what else do we need in this build? Yeah, we got this. I mean, do we really need to worry about armored infantry? I don't think so. I think we could just kill them with magic and, our heavy cav and whatnot. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Oath Brothers of Tor are kind of cool also. We're obviously going to be dealing with 1,000,000 Golden Riders. Those are a little bit frightening to deal with. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking this army so far. I think it's pretty good. I think we got most of the tools that we're looking for. For our final touches, do we want any heroes? Interestingly enough, Ulrika might actually not be terrible in this matchup because Melkoth's is so good. And that's the only way that Kislev can get Shadow Magic is by bringing Ulrika. So that actually is potentially a viable choice. Okay, let's grab a couple of these. Yes. Maybe just one of those. And for our last unit here, Zargard are kind of cute, but again, elite units just kind of get pounded down. It doesn't feel great. All right, let's get you. Let's slap those bad boys in. Now we have 130 Gs left. The lore passive there is all right, I suppose. Gust of True Flight is kind of a cute one. Little Grom in this matchup. It's all right. I don't know if I'm a big Little Grom enjoyer. I think that there are probably better choices. Okay. So one more of these, and then we can go ahead and find out a way to squeeze in one more unit. Kislev, of course, very expensive. Very, very pricey faction. All right, so I think that's a pretty good build out of the gates. We should be ready. Yeah, the hag ladies, that's right. Yeah, you can do the hag wizards, and they can bring shadows too, right? Yeah, I always forget about that. Hag witches are not bad. They get a summon. Flock of Doom is pretty good. I mean, it allows you to bring Rasputin on foot. You know, there's a couple other tricks of the trade you can do there, but all right. I think I like this build. What are we weak against? I don't know. I don't feel like we're weak against a whole bunch. So hopefully we will just crush it and be good to go. So good luck, have fun to my opponent. Let's get this party started. Does Double Little Grom work here? Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. But the problem with Double Little Grom is you get swarmed by Dark Shards. If one of the more meta playstyles that Dark Elves do against Kislev is Mass Dark Shard. And they've been winning this season, as a matter of fact. Kislev is not overpowered anymore. You know, they got a pretty big wave of nerfs on a lot of their units, which they 100% deserved, and now they feel like a very fair and balanced faction. Like, I don't mind playing them with, like, even Chaos Dwarves, right? Like, I'm, like, happy to take that matchup, and even with Warriors of Chaos, I'm like, I feel like I have a good chance of winning now. Whereas before, it felt kind of hopeless, but after the nerfs and the cost increases they got on a lot of units, and the stat decreases on their, like, baseline Warriors, a lot of things like that. Harganeth Executioner is probably not very good here. They're just going to get dicked by your arrows and, you know, not have a good time. Yes, yes. Yeah, Baba Yaga is not bad also. She does really good damage. Arguably, she's a good choice, but I just went with something a little bit more simplistic. When does the DLC come out? I think it's a couple weeks, right? I know that we're allowed to show it to you guys soon. And what I'm going to be doing is, as soon as I'm able to show it, which I think the day that we're allowed to is on the 4th, I'm just gonna have a stream where we just look at everything. We're just gonna sit, and I'm gonna see if I can find some people to play with, obviously, and then we will do our thing there. So should be pretty fun. All right, so let's actually just get you guys on the back objective for now. So this is gonna be our battle line, just Kislev Warriors, just, you know, with some hybrid shooting in the secondary via the armored Kossars, and a big bow line. So the bow line is going to be the Kossars with spears because they're really good against, like, Dark Riders, and yeah, just a solid unit in my experience. We could even slap you over there. I think that's going to be all right. So that's going to be our bow line. So we want to keep those guys online here. And we have the Horse Archers who typically will, you know, trade very well into Dark Rider units. So we're just going to do this, and we're going to send you over to the side objective here. So we'll put him in Control Group 7. I don't have the blocker up, do I? I don't think so. Yeah, it's going to be really fun, though. And we also have a major CA event coming up, so that's going to be coming up in the next week. So that'll be really fun. It's going to be myself and Dob Plays casting a domination tournament, which is going to be, I'm excited to see him cast Dom. I know he does mostly land battle and conquest, but yeah, excited to see what he's going to be thinking about the old Dom. All right, so let's get this party started. Let's have some fun. Good luck to my opponent here, Lahoot, a very strong player, and we're going to go see if there's anything here. All right. All right, I think we are potentially... Okay, forgot to check in. Any chance you can see if someone drops, then maybe. Okay, and checking here. Good luck, good luck. We'll see what my forbidden opponent is going to be rocking here. All right. So the battle is ready. The Kislevites are going to be marching to war for Urson, for the bear, and the Watchmen in the Night. Not a bad choice against Dark Elves. They certainly can shoot through the infantry pretty well. But all right, let's move up. Let's grab this. And grab you, head to the side objective here, and head up with our wizard. So we just have Hailstorm and Hoxamiska. Oh, Bolt Throwers, okay. Bolt Thrower Dark Shard line with a Sorceress of Shadows. Okay, that's an interesting one. Definitely gonna do some work, but that's why I didn't bring anything big, right? Because Dark Elves are, like, really happy to kind of just, like, punish, like, super big targets. So we're gonna take this objective here, and then we're gonna run over to the other side, and our first call-in probably is gonna be some... I don't know if it's going to be some dervishes, but yeah, the bolt throwers can shoot into our light cav here. I don't really mind it too much. Yeah, we got the Watchmen in the Night heading over to the side objective. We're going to take our opponent's home objective here, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sneaky hobbitses play. We're going to actually take some winged lancers up the side and try and like hold my opponent's home objective for, you know, longer than you would expect. All right. So you guys are on the way up, looking great. Dark Elves are going to contest that objective here, and we do get a couple Dark Riders coming in. To be expected, right? They're going to be a little bit annoying here, but if the Winged Lancers arrive in time, they can definitely punish the Dark Riders pretty badly. So let's put some firepower onto these guys, and then we're going to run into the trees. So we do get their home objective and get a bit of a points lead, but now we need to flee the scene, right? Because that's not going to be a pretty fight. And the side objective should be up soon. Now magic is going to be what? Is that Pit of Shades? Okay, we don't really have any super expensive targets for Pit of Shades to Karate Chop, right? So that's nice. So we're going to run back this way and grab this objective and start casting some foul magic at these guys. So we need to get our warriors kind of off to the sides, I think, just to make sure we don't get popped too hard. Maybe going to lose this objective here. There's a lot of Druki on the point, so we're just going to have to start value trading now. So let's move you guys up like so. Pull you back and get these two archers to start teeing off into this unit here and get these warriors out to fan out that way. All right. So far so good. And now it's time for the warriors to start getting ready to go. The dark shards are going to start hurting pretty bad here, so we got to watch out for that. Let's get some warriors flanking around the side. And we're going to get ready for the Hawks of Miska as well. So you get in here, and you get in here, buddy. The hybrid shooting is now underway. So let's go ahead and do a Hawks of Miska right there. See if we can do some damage. And yeah, hopefully we can get her done. All right, so on the outside here, let's go ahead and take a fight here versus these guys. We do get the Hawks of Miska active, and you can see it does some really, really fat damage, right? So that's very, very nice for us. In the meantime, let's call in some dervishes. So we're going to call in some speedy boys to come around the side and try and maybe flank. And we do get a Pit of Shades going down, which is going to be hitting one of my warriors, which is a very, very good cast. Excellent, excellent play there. So calling in another speedy boy. Let's get him around the outside and up on the top. How are we looking? Are those Coldland Knights? Those are Coldland Knights. All right, so this is when we basically call a full retreat on this side, and we just peace out into the woods and then loop back and around to our main battle lines. But overall, it seems to be going all right. We got warriors on Dark Shards. Let's get you guys piling in here, and you guys can fight here. I believe these dervishes can come in and kind of screen out these warriors. Maybe they're going to be able to. We'll see. But yeah, the archer fight it's a little bit dodgy, but overall I think it's going to go okay. So let's summon a snow leopard. We can use it to get back there, and we can drop a hailstorm on their head. Good, good. And I think we need to call the watchman and the knight over here as well. And you guys can go and try and dive. We'll keep one of you, I think, under here. But a little bit of scariness in our backfield. Yeah, it looks like it. All right, so you guys go get on the dark shards here. You guys are going to come around the top and get on the other dark shard unit. If I could just shut down the shooting, then we're going to be okay. So you guys just keep hustling this way. Just keep hustling. There we go. All right. So one dark shard unit is almost offline, and we were able to get a decent little jump on the other one, so we're just going to Space Jam slam into those, because if I can win that aspect of the duel, I think we're going to be in good shape. Hawks of Miska, not really necessary at the moment, and hopefully these guys can get around and then help me resecure my gun/bow line here. All right, so we do get into the cookie jar of a couple of the dark shard units, which is outstanding, so now we can just kind of rear charge into these. Let's fan back and fan back here. You guys do this, you guys attack here, you guys fan out here, and we're going to want to call in some heavy shot cab now. So probably going to call in Griffin Legion, and we're just going to use them to hammer any of the Dark Elf units that like overextend too deeply into our battle lines, right? It's going to be the idea. So something got caught there. Oh man, how did those Winged Lancers get caught? I was like straight pathing away. Okay, that could be a game-losing situation, unfortunately for me. Some of my Winged Lancers got caught in the freaking woods. I actually have no idea how that happened, but it is what it is. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of bombardment here. So we're going to do some of this. Drop that right on their heads, and hopefully that'll do some fat damage. In the meantime, you guys shoot here, you guys shoot here. We got Griffin Legion coming up, and the Watchmen in the Dark are also on the way, and we're going to pull you guys up this way. All right, so did we get a bombardment? We do. That was actually a really good one. You see, we took a lot of HP off that unit. And the Hawks of Miska, we're going to go ahead and drop them where? Do we want to do right there to try and break that unit? Probably not a bad idea. All right, so the Horse Archers are here and at the ready. Griffin Legion's going to come and get a hammering charge into these Bleak Swords here. Hawks of Miska, we can drop right there, actually, because that's a really, really nice kind of position. And where are the Coldwood Knights? All right, the Coldwood Knights are getting ready to come out of the bushes. Soon we're going to call in Streltsy. It's going to be a Streltsy call-in for sure. Watchmen of the Night will do some fat work. The value gap is closing a little bit, which is nice. Griffin Legion getting a fat charge. So we're going to, like I said, just use Griffin Legion as like a sweeper unit. All right, let's call in some Streltsy. My back objective is not being threatened right now, so that's great. And we do have another bombardment here, so let's pull these cab back. Get you guys to focus the Coldwood Knights and focus the Coldwood Knights, and you guys retreat. Looking fine, and you can do this. Let's summon a little Snow Leopard here to help out, and just kind of keep running with these guys. Meanwhile, the Streltsy will be here to put some firepower down on them soon. We don't want our Griffin Legion to end up fighting those units, right? That's going to be very bad news bears. All right, advancing up, and Watchmen in the Night can advance up here. We get the Snow Leopard on top of the Cold One Knights, and all of our cav now can turn and shoot. And the Griffin Legion just need to escape a little bit, and then they can turn around and fight here as well. All right, so do we do a Hawk's Talon on these guys? Yeah, probably so. I think that's going to be good. I think we're starting to pull, I wouldn't say ahead, but I feel like we're trading okay, despite what the value says. I feel like it's maybe not tracking my magic. My Lord is a little bit beat up, but we do have double Streltsy coming in now, which is going to be freaking sweet. Let's get you guys on the outside, do a little bit of housekeeping because we're going to need it. We do manage to steamroll that unit, and our Archer Corps is still in good shape. A lot of bolt throwers online, which are going to be very, very menacing for us. And, ooh, this is perfect. All right, so we might be able to get, like, a free bolt thrower here just with, like, one really tattered unit, which would be outstanding. All right, so we have another speedy boy coming in here, so let's get the Streltsy to start wasting them. And the Griffin Legion does end up piling in and giving up a lot of value. So I'm down on value pretty heavily. It doesn't, like, feel as bad, but, yeah, I mean, I guess we are. So let's move you guys across, sneak you to the back, see if we can do a little bit of objective theft. All right, shoot this, and keep wasting these guys. And we do manage to get on top of one of the bolt throwers, which I love. Unfortunately, the dervishes are probably going to break, so let's go see if we can get that other one there. I think he's targeting my Lord. I'm not 100% sure. But we got the 2 Streltsy units on the way, so that's going to give us a lot of like pounding value into this army here, especially if he's calling in mostly mobility. That's going to be very, very nice for us. Let's do this. Streltsy, you're going to keep shooting, and now we're going to call in some Kislevites warriors to waddle up to the point to give us a little bit of sustainability, and yeah, hopefully we can bump and grind it. So we're maybe going to get this bolt thrower crew, maybe. I'm not sure. We probably want to call in like one dervish just to be annoying and press the side. So let's get that dervish up there a little bit. Meanwhile, our bow/gun line is going to keep the waddling advance going. Let's get you guys to run down this Blackheart Corsair unit. You guys shoot here, and these Streltsy can take this angle. In the meantime, it looks like there's going to be some funny business over here, so we can move out and maybe do a little bit of targeting there. I think that's going to be all right. So we need to figure out where we're going to do our bombards and whatnot, right? Those bolt throwers are probably generating a lot of value for my opponent, I would suspect, although we are kind of closing the value gap a little bit. Let's see if they're paying attention here. They probably are, so let's not be silly. Let's play it safe, right? So Streltsy, keep shooting. You guys shoot here. You guys shoot here, and you guys park in the tree line there. All right, so we do get a bit of a cute charge there. A couple of our light cav were able to get a nice engagement, which is great. Let's move you back. Nice Pit of Shades, really, really good cast on my opponent's part. Gotta love it. I mean, I don't love it, but you guys know that my opponent's sure loving that right now. All right, so Griffin Legion, you guys keep running these guys over. In the meantime, you make a sprint for the back objective here. And did we get on top of their light cav? We did a little bit. You know, let's keep hunting here. Let's get you down there to hunt. And yeah, that was a nice one. It was a nice one for sure. Let's do a Hawks of Miska right there to try and break them and get the Griffin Legion to run them down. In the meantime, maybe we can finally get those bolt throwers offline, and I do start to flip the middle objective, so that's good. And Kislevites warriors are arriving, so let's get Streltsy and, yeah, just more Streltsy. They're very good in this situation, very, very good. All right, so we're coming up and under. We do get on one bolt thrower, so the bolt thrower is going to be taken offline. Let's get these Kislevites warriors waddling back there. In the meantime, you guys Space Jam slam into this. And Urson is resilient, you know, we're advancing up. We're advancing on up, so let's get some more warriors coming into the party. Because you'll notice that there's a bit of a composition situation here, right? Like, my opponent's units aren't super good against what I have in the field at the moment. So I'm able to get some work done. And we also do compromise one bolt thrower, which is pretty fat. So at least that's offline. Yeah, looks like my Lord is being targeted. Let's go ahead and shoot here. You guys go there. And we just kind of hang out on the middle objective right now. Pull you back into the woods. We do hunt down a couple of the enemy skirmish cav, which is outstanding. So let's have you turn and fight here. And is there any threat on my back objective? It doesn't look like it. All right. So we're very, very close in the value game here. We do manage to get a fat nuke right there, and we're going to drop another one, which should do some good work, and we're going to sweep down and under if we can. Did we get the bombardment? Yeah, it does a little bit of work. All right, so cool. Let's get a dervish to come up and help clear out those harpies. That'll be very good against those. And our speedy cav are lurking in the trees. So let's keep getting you down all the way down here if possible. You guys take down those Dark Riders. You guys shoot here. So these are spear units, right? So that's what's really nice. We should be able to get that other bolt thrower offline here, I think. All right, so now we just need to deal with those damn harpies, and we're going to be okay. So Streltsy are being absolute chads, and we do manage to sneak by, and I think we're going to be able to get a shutdown on one of those units. I definitely am in a situation where I can't really afford to lose, you know, objectives. So I got to be careful here. That's going to be a Pit of Shades, but that's okay because that unit was already kind of on death's bed anyways. So it's not like a super devastating loss for us. Let's get the Kislevites warriors moving up, pull you guys back, reform the ranks, unsummon one of you, just so we have a fast unit in the pool, and Streltsy can go shoot here. And I doubt they're going to make a play for this objective, but just in case, we're going to send some Streltsy over there to do our thing. So yeah, the value is dead even now, which is not good for my opponent. We've been able to close the gap pretty heavily. So now we just kind of hunker down in the middle and just kind of, I think sending out waves and waves of durable warriors here is going to be very nice. So let's go ahead and do that. And the Streltsy can shoot those guys in the face, which is going to shut him down. We do manage to get the other bolt thrower offline, which I gotta love. And these warriors can waddle back to the middle. I don't want to like just lose them for nothing, right? All right, so let's set up our Streltsy line. Yeah, Streltsy getting a beautiful amount of shots on those guys here. And we're going to park on this objective to make sure we don't lose it. You guys shoot. We have our Ice Witch, who's probably gotten some pretty good value this game. Those are the Kossar Spears. All right, so form ranks. And is that Sorceress coming back? Looking for a Pit of Shades? Probably so. Probably will. And can we hunt you guys down? Yeah, Kissabite Warriors, so we want to lure them into these units if possible. All right, so let's get you guys, and you guys get on top of this. Great and great. And now we just weather the storm, right? We just weather it on over. All right, 2 Streltsy units. Should be able to waste those Cold Wind Riders. Not too worried about it. Let's get the shooting to go in there. And yeah, just calling more warriors. Because now that my opponent doesn't have Dark Shards on the field, we should be, you know, pretty tough to deal with, I would say. Let's get some of these boys in there and some of these. And Streltsy can, of course, shoot them. Do we have anything like heavy shot cav to come in and wreck these guys? The Cold Wind Riders on this side are basically toast. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to deal with the middle more. Warriors against warriors is fine. We're going to hailstorm those guys. And we got, like I said, the armored Kossars are on their way up. So let's go ahead and hit you. Fan out and fan out. I really can't afford to lose this middle objective. So I need to get all hands on deck here. So we will fight here, and then the heavy cab, we're able to clean those guys up. Great. On the outside, we're looking pretty good. Yeah, we were able to get them, so we're going to hammer over here, and we're going to probably just unsummon you. Keep you guarding this point for now. Outstanding. So dervishes can go run down some of the basic warriors here. And I think at this point we're in pretty good shape. I'm going to call in another Griffin Legion, and I'm seeing mostly like infantry being called in for my opponent, which is a good sign. Okay, do we want to loop around and see if we can get anything here? Maybe. Shoot you. And Hailstorm in time. We need to wait for them to blob up a little bit more, right? Before we drop the Hailstorm of Doom. All right, Streltsy shoot. Griffin Legion is for sure going to be the call in here. Harpy's coming from the side, so Harpy's trying to shut down my gun line. It's smart play. Let's go get some of our light cav to chase his skirmish cav. And do a little bit of unsummoning / housekeeping on you. Outside safe. Streltsy are waddling in, so let's get them right up on the point. And you warriors can go fight those bleak swords. And hopefully we can get these offline. All right, Griffin Legion, let's go, baby. Big, scary shot cav. They're super, super good in these kind of like, I don't know what you would articulate this game as, but like a game where it becomes very like knockdown, drag out. That's where like Griffin Legion units start to like really shine, right? Streltsy are also an amazing unit. I'm really happy they're good. All right. So let's get you guys moving in, and we're going to move you to the side, and then we're going to let these Streltsy start ripping some fat shots on their faces. Here we are able to knock those guys offline, and we have another warrior here. Dervishes can come around the outside, and let's just look for rear charges, like on tattered units. I think that's going to be fine. We do have a crazy, crazy chase going down, but now we're going to hammer these guys. And now that my opponent's back objective isn't very well defended, I'm going to preemptively prepare for a back cap. So we're going to hammer down these 2 units, and then my Griffin Legion's going to make a way towards my opponent's back objective here, and hopefully get the job done. All right, so what are these Streltsy able to shoot? Let's just set them up right on the side here. Griffin Legion's going to annihilate both those units. We got our back objective pretty well defended. And cool. So you see how that worked out pretty well there? We were able to get it. And the Cold Wind Spear Riders are going to get wrecked. They're going to get just nailed by Streltsy. So that's going to be really, really good for us. Yeah, so we see them coming. We'll get the Spear Riders, our Spear Boys, to go deal with them. Griffin Legion is cleaning up quite a bit. I feel like the damage tracker isn't necessarily tracking some of my witchcraft here. And we do have these guys heading to the back point. That's going to be a really, really good bombardment right there, by the way. Oh, Streltsy now can just start shooting those guys. Nice, nice. That was a lot of damage there. So pull the Griffin Legion back and through our spears, because we do have spear units. The Kossars with spears are really good. So they're able to get in combat there. Let's send you out here. And then as far as this goes, we can go ahead and send a Winged Lancer out there, because now that we have the advantage, feeling pretty confident. And they just called out Cold Wind Spear Riders. That's going to make it a little bit harder. But even still, any play on the back objective? I don't think so. Streltsy can shoot you guys. Let's go distract them with these guys while maybe we get an opportunity to steal their back objective. I'm pretty much out of Winds of Magic now, so that's not going to happen. And the Griffin Legion can just pile in and fight here. You know, they might as well. A couple warriors going to waddle over there too, and the dervish is going to be sacrificed as a distraction there. And we do manage to catch some of the units in the woods. Let's get another bow Kossar coming up to just sustain and make sure we don't lose ground on this objective. And it is going to be Dark Riders, which should lose to my guys, especially since we have a warrior unit heading over there. So that'll be very, very good for us. All right, waste them. Waste them on down, pull the Griffin Legion back. Streltsy able to get some cost-effective shots, but we're going to need them to shoot over here, which is going to be a little bit more important. And let's get the charge off, and let's get the charge off and steal that back objective. And then I think we just win from there. Because we're rapidly going to be in a situation where it's a triple cap, right? And my opponent is, Kislev is very good at holding objectives, like very, very good, right? As long as I don't like stupidly lose my back objective, but that's why I purposely left something back there. And now we should have the capture weight advantage with the winged lancers. The mighty Polish cavalry have arrived, so they're going to be able to hang in there. Streltsy can also fight Koldo Knights in combat. They're not bad at that, so let's get the Griffin Legion to get in there and help that out. We managed to get my opponent's back objective, and we have a lot more reinforcements coming. It's going to be a minute before they get here, but yeah, and we just ride these guys down, make sure there's no shenanigans. Ice Witch can go help maybe, but I don't think we need to. And we do take this objective, but not a huge deal. The repeater crossbows are going to be pretty terrible against us, so let's get the charge on the correct unit. Pull you around the side, so we're going to just charge with the winged lancers and then loop around the side with our light cav and have them chase the repeater crossbows. Just like so. Just a little bit of bread and butter right there. All right. So what do we got in the middle? Let's call in some fast cav just to make sure we don't lose any ground. And it looks like they're being hammered pretty much everywhere. And a close victory. Yeah. Close victory. That was cool. All right. Very scrappy game. Value is close. It was a good duel of fates. GG, well played. Solid performance from but what my opponent brought is pretty meta. Usually, Pit of Shades, like the lore of Magic varies. But the Dark Shard and Chaff front line is very good against Kislev. You notice my opponent was like out trading me earlier, right? Because my archers were basically shooting into shields on the Dark Shards, and they were able to return fire very effectively. So that was hard. Our Cav game was all right, but there's so many things the Dark Elves have that are really good against Kislev. Like their Cold on Spear Riders just crush your cavalry really badly. And the repeater crossbows also crush your cav, and their Dark Shards will win a lot of the trading. So I actually think that matchup's a little tricky, but yeah, you don't bring Bear Cav in that matchup, Pone. Because if you do, what ends up happening is the Bolt Throwers and the Dark Shards will just value trade them down into the pits. Typically, you go wide. And Streltsy are your best friend. They do a lot of work there. So GG to my opponent. 4-round tournament. Yeah, glad you guys enjoyed it. Very tactical. Very tactical indeed. And, all right. Let's report that for Kislev, for Urson. I like being able to play Kislev. It's my wife's people, so finally we can play them without feeling guilty. Dark Elves. All right. Cool. Yeah, the value calculation was for sure off. I'm pretty sure it wasn't calculating my magic. So I got a shit ton of value from my hailstorms that I was casting on their blobs, and I'm pretty sure it just wasn't including those. That would be my jam. Our last one was Vader Coast. I think it was Zinch versus Kislev. Dark Elves are pretty good. Yeah, it's just chatting with my opponent. They dominate. All right, so do we have any admin issues? I don't think so. I think we're all good, and we're going to refresh, take a look at the tournament here, and we can also look at some of the stats as well. Hey, yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, usually I think some of the better ways to learn to play this game are just from watching tournaments. I mean, you could watch guides, all day, but like really watching practical application in tournament play, I think is one of the best ways to learn if you want to be like a tournament player, right? All right, so here's the tournament. I think we had about 40 people sign up, so you can see the signups. It was a big old tournament today, which is very exciting. I love, honestly, I feel like we're kind of in the golden age a little bit. Like the meta is really healthy. Let's hope it doesn't get screwed up in the next few days. But yeah, so we got a couple matches still to finish. We have 15 minutes left in the rounds. Opponent is the GOAT of Total War playing. I can't really think in my mind what Kislev's worst matchup. Yeah, the Dowie are pretty good against them. If we go to stats, Kislev is currently sitting with 52 wins and 49 losses. Kislev apparently is bad against... Well, they have a losing record against Chaos Dwarves, which is interesting. But if you see, I mean, there's not much data, to be honest. Like, all of these matchups are, like, Like, everything here is relatively even, right? Yeah, they haven't been getting played a whole lot. That's for sure. I think this is nonsense, too. I think a good Empire player will typically beat Kislev. Yeah. But you can look at the stats. They're not dominating anymore, but they're very good still. I think Kislev is still a very good faction. But I think there's some accuracy with the top of the meta here. Like, I think that Chaos Demons, Dark Elves. Wow, Dark Elves with a 64% win rate. Jeez. They're crushing it right now, man. So Chaos Demons, Dark Elves, Ogre Kingdoms, Beastmen. Yeah, this all looks right. Norska is also extremely good because Slaanesh is so damn strong right now, man. Like Fiends, Hellstriders getting buffed in the recent patch, Pavane of Slaanesh with Rampage, like extremely armored infantry, immune to psychology. I think that Slaanesh is one of the best factions in domination mode for sure. Chaos Demons are that good. Yeah, they are. Like ever since they buffed Skull Cannons, because here's the thing, Chaos Demons have some of the best stuff. If you look at the Chaos Demons, they have really good infantry choices. Like Nurglings are amazing, Blues are amazing, Plague Bearers are good, Bloodletters are good. You know, some of the elite ones are very good too. They have an insanely good ranged mobile DPS via Changebringers. They have Seekers, which are top tier cav. They also have Plague Toads, Screamers, Fleshhounds, Fiends of Slaanesh, which are probably the best unit in the roster. You also have the Skull Cannons and all the different Soul Grinders. Also, Angels of Decay are super meta in a lot of matchups for Nurgle. And you have like so many different Lords of Magic, you know? Yeah, Demons of Chaos, I think, are the number one faction. I think when you put them in the hands of top-tier players, they're really good. However, a big however there. Demons of Chaos get wrecked really bad by Wood Elves. So there is like a natural predator to them, but in a traditional pick 3 system, the Demons of Chaos player is just going to ban Wood Elves, right? But in SFT, you can't avoid them if you run into them. They're absolutely best right now. They got a model change, so now they destroy everything. Yeah, Seekers are pretty nuts. They're very nuts. And yeah, so demons are just super powerful. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Yeah, I think they're insanely powerful. Seekers and all those cav units. They got model counts increases, right? So they just, yeah, more efficiency overall. All right, so let's go back to the tournament, hang out. Thank you guys for joining. It's been a fun one. By the way, I took the dive. I started playing classic hardcore WoW with my wife. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's just straight nostalgia. Like I remember all of it. Like, oh man, the sounds, the you know, just everything. It's crazy. But I made a dwarf hunter. So I made a dwarf hunter. He's an engineer and a miner. What I'm thinking is, like, I don't think you guys would want to watch the leveling, right? Like, I don't think it's that exciting. Like, I think what I'll do is in classic hardcore WoW, I will. I haven't died yet. I was pretty good at WoW back in the day. Yeah, I was pretty good at it. So I don't think I'm gonna die easy. But I'm gonna record the dungeons. So when we play a dungeon, when my wife and I and Subutai is joining us as well, and one of my buddies from high school, I will record the dungeons and then upload those as videos because that's more interesting, right? Like I think just creeping in the wilderness isn't very exciting, right? Yeah, so we'll maybe do like a stream for the dungeons, different things like that. Yeah, dude, I was a WoW addict back in the day. Oh yeah. Hardcore. Okay, we got one game left to finish. It's wow, really quick play from our players here. Awesome stuff. Dude, I'm not gonna die easily. I'm playing a hunter, so hunters are really survivable. You fight at range. You can really dictate where fights take place, and you have feigned death. I'm also playing engineer, so I'm going to be having like dynamite and other things that can help me out of bad situations in combat. Dungeons and raids are the dullest part of the MMO. So you think wilderness creeping, just like doing quests? Because the quests are pretty, like, you know, grindy. You gotta let the boy watch. Let the boy watch. Yeah, the dungeons are gonna be my downfall. I'll probably end up getting killed in the dungeon. And then, but my whole policy with Classic WoW is when this character dies, I'm done. I'm not going to play anymore. I'm just going to like take a break and maybe play again when, you know, a year from now or something. Like I don't like to put a lot of time in it nowadays. I'm too old for that shit. All right, looks like the round is finished. Very cool. And we got a little admin question here. Okay. And let's advance the rounds. Perfect. Can join me in League. I'm down for, once we finish our WoW hardcore run, I'm down to play some League. I'm down, Pwn Dog. For you, brother. All right, so we're going to advance the Swiss to the next round. Make sure we can get a face cam over half the size of the stream like an e-girl. You guys don't need to see my face. All right. I mean, if you want to, sure. I'm not like opposed to it. But here we go. All right. So Goblins, round 2 is live. Fast and Furious tournaments, just how I like it here. Let's go ahead and invite my opponent to the next round, see what they're going to be playing. All right. And Valiant, I think that was their name. Let's see what their name is here. Valley Cans. Okay. So find them. And here we go. All right, so I've gotten an invite out to my opponent here, and we're going to go ahead and see what they're playing so I can preemptively start working on the build while we wait for them. What's it going to be? Hopefully they show up. Sometimes people do disappear in the night in these tournaments. Corn. Okay, cool. Corn. Yeah, I haven't played this matchup in a while. I don't know how you play this with Kislev nowadays. Probably big monsters are going to be pretty good, actually. I used to play League of Legends. Yeah, I was Diamond League back in the day. Yeah. Our bathtub streams banned on YouTube. You could probably get away with it, you know? Yeah. You could probably get away with it on YouTube, yeah. YouTube is much more strict in some ways, like with music. If you use like any sort of music from like that is copywritten in any way, like if I were to start playing All Star by Smash Mouth, my stream would be shut down within like 20 or 30 seconds. It would detect it and it would just karate chop your stream. Whereas on Twitch, people can do that and then they just edit it out of the VODs or it automatically gets muted. But YouTube is way more hardcore in that area. So, all right. So what do we want to do against the Corn Dog, right? Take the bear? I actually want to win today, though. You know what I'm saying? I want to have a chance of winning. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of this. All right. I dig it. And we'll slap you in there, too. Kislev Warriors get the job done. They do get hammered down pretty hard by the Cornate Infantry, though, so you got to pay the troll toll there. I'm going to bring a cool build, though. You guys are going to like it. It's going to be fun. Okay, so that looks pretty awesome so far. And for the Lord choice, we have a couple options here. Yeah, I think that this is going to be good. Seems much harder on Twitch. Yeah. Oh, does it? I mean, I go on Twitch streams all the time, and I see people listening to copyrighted music, so I don't know what the deal is, but you do see it. Okay. Cool. Don't really care for that. Don't really care for that. Outstanding. Yeah, we're going to have to deal with some scary Corn action. Corn is very frightening. Okay. Zargard here kind of have a bad time. Bloodletters are very, very menacing to deal with. On reinforcements, your heavy cav in general are just super good. Like Griffin Legion and Winged Lancers are both great. Although Oath Brothers of Tor in this matchup are an excellent choice. They're very, very powerful. All right, let's get you this. You can bring that and bring this. Man, Kislev is such an elite faction. Like by the time you're like, ready to go, like you just have like nothing. It's insane. Like heavy war slides are cute and all, but the problem is Minotaurs of Corn are just such a problem. They just do such good work against you. All right, so that's all done there. We have you. The double Frostworm is probably really degenerate in this matchup too, I would suspect. Yeah, so let's cut this. And we can get you. And we got 150 left, which is always super annoying when you have like just enough left to do a little something. Armored Kossars here. How do we feel about Armored Kossars? Armored Kossars in this matchup. I guess they hold their own against any of the warriors, and they give you a little bit of sustainability. Streltsy, of course, are pretty awesome in the Corn matchup, I think, although the Fleshhounds will be a problem for them. That is for sure. The Flesh Doggies certainly take no prisoners. Heavy War Sleds, they're really expensive now. I'm like borderline wondering if they're still worth it, because Heavy War Sleds are freaking $14.50 now. It's a big increase. It's a big, expensive increase. All right, let's get this. Yeah, I think this is a good army. I think we got the tricks going. We got the tricksy traps. Minotaur Great Weapons will trade up into the Oath Brothers of Tor, but if you provide healing support and different things like that, it can be better for you. That is for sure. Yeah, I don't think we need that, actually. Sometimes it's a bit of a blessing in disguise when your opponent takes a little bit of time to do their thing, because it allows you to, like, you know, think about your army a little bit more. So I think that's going to be a better build, yeah. I like this one. This is good. Yeah, Ice Guard Glaives aren't bad. Most Twitch person money is... yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, the monetization system on Twitch is a lot different. Like on Twitch, people make a living from usually having subscribers, whereas it does exist on YouTube. It's far less popular, right? Like the channel members, which I greatly appreciate, of course, but it's less popular on YouTube, I would say. I don't upload my tabletop games yet. I will someday. The problem is I live somewhere where it's very hard to find people to play with. I have to drive like an hour and a half to get a tabletop game, so for me it's just a pain. All right, there is the blocker for Urson, baby. Yeah, I mean, heavy war sleds for Khorne aren't that bad because they have Fleshhounds and they have Minotaurs, which are both large. It used to be the meta against Khorne to use those units. It used to be. Nowadays, I think they can just punish it pretty well. Yeah. Doomfire Warlocks are good against Cathay. Now that's some truly forbidden tech. All right, so I brought some cool units for you guys. All right, so we got this, and you, and you. So a couple units of Kislevites Warriors. They're just going to take a beating for Urson. And I did bring an Ice Guard Glaive, because I like them against the Khorne Beasts. Zarina on her sled. We have the Horse Archers, and Little Grom is very good in this matchup. Little Grom just kind of takes pot shots at the Khorne Taurs. And you just have it really nice and deep set, and you're going to be pretty cozy, right? So we'll get the Streltsy here, too. And I think we're about ready. All right. Yeah, Khorne for sure. I mean, any of the new factions getting updates are going to be very scary, in my opinion. And, of course, as soon as we're able to kind of show all that goodness, I will have some cool thoughts for you. Yeah. That's right, Jer. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. We have Icebane's Kiss and Frost Sheet, Ice Sheet, just to kind of slow things down if we're in a chase or something. And Icebane's Kiss is pretty good. It's definitely not bad. They destroy Crowmen are good against Cab because of the debuffs. Yeah, I know you've been playing... we played in a tournament with your Dark Elves recently. You played them against my Shorfs. So it was pretty good. I could tell you had been playing them. Yeah, Doomfire Warlocks see a little bit of fringe play because they do magic damage against demons, right? So it's not terrible against some of the demonic factions. All right, so let's advance up, get going. Ice Guard, or Ice Catarine's going to move, and it's going to be Warriors and Marauders. Okay. So to deal with the Warriors, I think I have enough via Catarine sled plus the Streltsy Collins. I'm hoping that's going to be enough, but arguably I probably should have brought some things in the woods. Oh, this is not what I was expecting at all. Okay. That is a very, very different build than I was expecting, which might actually be pretty good against me here. So we're going to go grab our home objective, then rush up to the middle, and hopefully Zarina is going to be able to get that. Callouts, this is just like a wide infantry army, so we're going to call it another Streltsy unit. And yeah, my infantry corps is a little bit on the weaker side. That's just a Chaos Lord, right? On foot? Is he on foot? Yeah, he is. Okay, so we can go just be annoying here. So let's move you guys up. Let's get you guys on the point, like so. And our warriors are going to get dunked on really, really badly, right? So we're going to call you over here. And, oh, Zarina actually just shot that Chaos Lord with an ice arrow. That's pretty funny. You see the DPS there? All right, so we're going to run these guys over. Looking good. And what you do is you blob them up like this, and then you use the Frostfang, which is very, very strong. So that's going to do some good damage. In the meantime, we do this. All right. And cool. So yeah, it's some nice opening damage out of the gates. The opening salvo has been unleashed. And Little Grom is going to just shoot at the warriors back here. All right, so let's retreat. And we do have the Ice Guard here. We got Streltsy hanging out. Streltsy, so we're going to get some good firepower for sure. You got to put some respect on Zarina's name. She can definitely tear apart your infantry if left to her own devices. So we're hoping that that's going to be the case as she continues to just rampage through this line. So yeah, definitely, I think my opponent may be trying to catch me off guard by bringing a non-kind of Minotaur-based army. You know, just going very wide on the infantry, which I think I'm just going to pull back a little bit because we don't want this fight. But overall, Zarina is doing great work. We just got to make sure she doesn't get caught and have a bad time. All right, so we're going to shoot you. Zarina's going to continue rampaging through these lines. Horse Archers are going to come up and just shoot whatever they can. And oh, nice back cap right there. Very cheeky, right? So my opponent back caps me, which is a great play, in my opinion. We're going to get double Streltsy fire on these Marauders, so pull them back. You guys park here, and we're just going to keep cruising. So yeah, I like this play on the back objective a lot. I think it's a great idea. So we're going to just move here, see if we can recap this, get some Ice Guard over there chilling, and yeah, just value trade for now, really. All right, so what's it going to be? So we do manage to get on this objective. Ice Guard are going to put some firepower down. I was wondering where the rest of the money was for that build, right? Like, it seemed like it was just so barren of money here. But yeah, it was a good play. All right, so let's get this. Call you over here. Call the Winged Lancers over there as well. We're going to keep going, and you guys are going to charge in and help, and we'll get you guys to charge in and help too. And you guys can help peel that as well. So we're going to get a pretty easy set of kills here. The Streltsy able to do some work. We'll start shooting that Chaos Sword now. In the meantime, we should be able to just melt these guys very quickly. And though we are going to give up some objective play, I think we'll be fine. All right. So these are Chaos Warriors. Okay, so let's get back and back. So let's start shooting the Chaos Warriors. Shoot the Chaos Warriors. Don't really need the Winged Lancers here, so we're just going to use them to run down some of these units. And the Ice Guard can keep moving up to the point here. In the meantime, let's just get like a colossal value lead to the point where we can just drive them off into the Shadow Realm is going to be my play. All right, so that looks fine. Those guys should be taken offline for now, and the Winged Lancers do get a nice charge right there. The 2 Streltsy units should be able to pound those Chaos Warriors, and what do we call in next? Do we call in a monster? I don't know if we do. I don't know if we do. I don't know how these things are still holding, by the way. Some funny business. There we go. All right. Great, so they're taken down now. Let's go start shooting here. Streltsy units should be able to pound these Chaos Warriors into the Shadow Realm. And if not, we're going to call it a Griffin Legion to finish them off once we can. So we got them in the open field, so let's just run them back. Do a little bit of charging here, and this objective should be resecured for us. The Ice Guard ladies should be pretty damn good at holding that at bay. All right, so now we have Skull Crushers coming out. So I need to get the targeting priority a little bit better here. Let's get the Winged Lancers behind those units here. Let's get Katarine going there and looking great. Those guys are going to get hammered, and the Streltsy can now just continue picking them apart. So where are the Skull Crushers going to go is the question. All right, so you guys run those down. Let's get you up on the point. Little Grom is going to be shooting, and now we have a little bit of an ambush over here. My opponent is playing the objectives very well. Like, I like that playstyle. I think Ice Guard should be resilient enough against that, though. We're going to have to see, and I do start to steal middle with my massive units here. All right, cool. So those guys get absolutely rolled over. The Giga Chad Streltsies, let's reposition them and reposition them. The mighty Italian Spartacuses. That's definitely what they look like. And we do have more infantry back here, so let's go ahead these guys off on the back point. I think we're all right. We just ride them down, shoot them here, and in the meantime, let's just go ahead and do a little something. Oh, those are Chaos Warrior dual weapons. Okay, that's cool. But we do steal the point, which is great. Griffin Legion able to do some big demolish here, and we can definitely win on just 2 objectives here. Let's go ahead and shoot that Chaos Sword, and you can shoot this Chaos Sword here. And those Cav able to run those over. Let's do a Frostfang on this unit, and let's get these Dervishes maybe thinking about running up and fighting as well. All right, so how are the Dervishes doing here? They're doing all right. My opponent still has my back objective, which is making me a little bit nervous that I might need to get a triple cap, but I think we'll be able to based on the current kind of exchange of things. Those are going to be what? Are those Marauders? Marauders of Khorne. Definitely a good charge target for my heavy Cav. Streltsy able to get some work done. Let's move you up and move you up. And these warriors, let's do some unsummoning here. And that objective should be ours soon. I probably should send like a warrior over there just to make sure it doesn't get taken as easily later on. And you can see our heavy Cav. Look at the damage they did against those Marauders. Absolutely savage, right? And these warriors, we just kind of keep working on them with the Tsarina. And we can call in a Snow Leopard just to troll around a little bit. I don't know where my opponent's heavy Cav went. They were up to no good with that. So yeah, our Dervishes actually just killed like all their horsemen with the support of the Ice Guard. So I think we're in a winning position now. Now we just basically chill on 2 and value trade. And I think we just win from there. All right, so let's keep you guys on the point. We got more scary boys coming up. So we're going to go ahead and get the Winged Lancers to recycle their charge in the front. This will probably be a good one, actually. It'll hit both units. And then we can come around the back. Okay. Lord is battling it out. We got Streltsy on either side of the point. We could call it a Patriarch at this point, maybe. Is not a bad idea, so let's get around the back. And the cool thing about Streltsy is they counter halberds, right? So now that my opponent has halberds here, we should be able to counter them a little bit. Let's do an Ice Sheet back there just to kind of slow things down. Now this is an opportunity since my opponent is doing some sneaky in the bushes with some heavy Cav. So I'm going to call out the Frostworm now because that'll give me some good fighting tools against the upcoming onslaught here. So those are just Chaos Warriors. We need to get away from them. All right, so how are we looking here? In the back, one of our Cav did overextend into Fleshhounds, which, isn't a terrible fight for them, so I think we're okay. Tsarina does run over some of the units here, and Streltsies can shoot these Chaos Warriors. Let's reform the ranks. Let's get these Griffin Legion to head to my opponent's back objective. I don't know where their Skull Crushers went. I know they're hiding them from the Little Grom, but let's get that Little Grom back. Don't want to Bronzodia that. And we'll move the Ice Guard up here and just leave the Warriors to defend the back line. So we're going to continue charging. Reforming the ranks with our Cav. I'm more than happy to just tie down the Chaos Sword using one of our cheap, like, expendable Cav units. And now you guys can head over here. I could try and kill the Chaos Lord. It's certainly possible. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of this. Ice Maiden's Kiss. And Dervishes, those are Flesh Hounds. So as long as we have some heavy Cav lurking in the wings, which I think we do, those are just Marauders. So that point should be pretty easy for us to take. I think I have faith in my Streltsy that they're going to be able to hold these battle lines. So Kiss of Light Warriors, let's do this. Let's get our Frostworm moving up here. And you can shoot this. Let's get you going here, and you going here as well, and you going here. All right. We'll see how it goes. Reform the ranks, and the Griffin Legion is going to just demolish these guys pretty badly. The Frost Doggos do get caught here. Let's get some more Warriors to resaturate on the middle, and our Dervishes somehow Palpa Dervish has survived, but we're just going to unsummon them because we need to get them back in the pool. All right, so the Frostworm is beating up the Chaos Lord a little bit. We do see the big Scaries coming out, so that's where they went. So what we're going to do is they're actually really slow, right? So we don't need to respect them that much. Let's just get our Little Grom and turn it onto these guys. We're just going to try and steal this objective here before my opponent arrives, and then we're going to leave. Because the Skull Crushers, the problem with them is they only have 62 movement speed, right? So we can just take this objective and flee the scene, probably. All right, the dogs are doing good work here, though. They're causing some havoc for us. All right, let's get you guys coming up. Get this going. Back objective looks pretty safe. Zarina come in and help here. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of this. So it should be able to hit him. And the Chaos Lord is almost dead. Almost cooked. Not quite there. Yeah, just run away from these guys. Just run away. Just like, oh, I guess we played on the wrong map. It's not a huge deal, but yeah, whatever. It happens to the best of us. Okay, so we do have that going. Do we do any Ice Sheet here? Not a bad idea, just to trigger the lore passive. And let's call out another Warrior. Just waves and waves of Warriors coming. Yep, should be A-okay. I just realized we played on this map last game. Yeah. The Chaos Lord actually can be killed by Katarine too. We're going to waddle out this way. We need to reform the ranks with some Streltsy to intercept those heavy Cav, if we can. Alright. Let's go to retreat. And the Chaos Lord of Khorne is in a little bit of trouble. And we do have some Dervishes nearby. You guys are going to shoot those big Scaries over there. And you're going to... Oh, those are just the Furies, actually. Oh, shit. So we can just turn around. He's over chasing with Furies. I thought those were big Scaries. That's why I was running from them. Okay. Perfect. Ice Guard can do their thing. And I think it's basically just going to be GG soon, right? We got Warriors hanging out on the back point. And need some Zula in this too? Yeah, no Chorfs today. Even though they're my favorite to play, we're not gonna play them. I play too much Chorfs. I think you guys are getting sick of it. I can't wait to show you guys the Chorf tabletop army when it's fully done. I mean, it's basically 90% done. I'm just painting the Infernal Ironsworn right now. And then we should be good. Yep, Frostworm did good work. You know, able to chew through these units. My opponent really needed some Minotaurs, probably, to keep Katarine and my heavy Cav in check. I think that was one of the big deciding factors, is the fact they didn't have it. So Marauders of Khorne dual weapons, making a play for my back objective. But again, I'm more than happy to just unsummon and do some housekeeping here. Let's get you on the Flesh Hounds there, and let's go ahead and form the ranks. And keep these heavy Cav here, keep these Streltsy moving up, and this Little Grom can now be unsummoned. Get in the pool, and do we call it a Patriarch? Yeah, not a bad idea. We can have the Patriarch come and just heal Katarine and the big monster. Alrighty, so my opponent going for the back objective, but we easily went on 2 here. So the Flesh Hound ROR is very good. People use them all the time. Let's do a little bit of unsummoning here as well. Frostworm is chilling, so the Frostworm can group up with Katarine. So group together and group together. And yes, let's get all you guys in the same group. So they're just going to heal up and then get those fat goodies going. You always want to do your housekeeping here if you can. And we'll call out some Warriors and some Griffin Legion, some Winged Lancers. The Polish Cavalry will arrive. We have our ambush contingent in the trees. I mean, I could make a play for the back point, which I think I probably should. My opponent really doesn't have much, and that will end the game quicker. So I'm gonna move over there with my crew. Yeah, we'll keep the Ice Guard online, obviously. Back point's looking pretty secure. Call some Dervishes down here to help with this. Yes. And what are they? Mostly Marauders? Mostly Marauders, yeah. Okay, so the Streltsy will hold it down in the middle. You don't want to charge dervishes head on here. They're going to have some problems, but Tsarina and the Frost Armor are going to dunk on this army pretty bad. Looks like Fury's maybe making a play for my back point, but not too scary. Little Grom will be back in the pool soon too, and now we can use the Salak's Lullaby to heal the characters up, which is going to be very menacing. In the meantime, let's get dervishes to go hunt these guys down. Streltsy can waddle up and put a little bit of firepower down too. And we just get in here and go balls deep. So first things first, let's get a big Ice Maiden's Kiss right down the pipe. Just to send a message. There we go, looking good. And we do find, oh, the Skull Crushers were still in the trees. Holy shit, okay. Yeah, no thank you. I don't want any of that. So Tsarina and company have arrived. We're going to get the Kislevites Warriors going in there, and you guys can go in here. I'm happy to sacrifice a Horse Archer to deal with those guys and get the Streltsy to come over and get ready to start shooting them, although we do have some Furies over the top, so that's probably a good idea to shoot as well. All right, so the Kislevites Warriors have arrived in numbers, and yeah, that's actually a little frightening that we have some scary boys in the woods there. Someone's making a play for my back objective. Thankfully, Kislev is probably one of the best rapid response factions in the game. Very good at responding to back threats. So we can get dervishes over there and any number of good units, right? And it looks like this objective is going to flip to us. Yeah, really, my opponent needed Minotaurs. Maybe they were trying some build without Minotaurs, but you really need them in this matchup. They're extremely good. All right, so Tsarina and company able to fold that up. We do have the Marauders arriving back here. The Ice Guard should be there soon, and we can call in a Dervish as well to get over there and make sure we don't lose that point. But the Warriors here should be able to hold this objective, I think. So we're just going to leave at this point. Keep the Streltsy kind of in the woods nearby, ready to help. Yeah, we have a pretty big value lead right now. Pretty substantial. So what is this? This is going to be Marauders of Khorne, and then we got some Marauders of Khorne here as well. Okay, cool. So we'll call in a Horse Archer next to make sure things don't go south. Let's run down those heretics, get the Streltsy on the point, get the Warriors fighting over here. And I think we're all good. Yeah, we have this like big Cav Corps. We can send them wherever we need them. And we should be able to fold up the heretics over here. Without their lord, you know, the leadership's going to be very fickle, so their staying power is going to be very poor. Okay, and here comes the Skull Crushers. Streltsy stand at the ready to deal with them, though. Let's reform the ranks and call over the heavy Cav. Let's get you guys in here. Shoot them with the Streltsy. And do we have any magic? We can ice sheet them. So it's going to slow them down a little bit. It's going to put minus 25 speed, send them back into the woods. For once they came, they're going to have to fight eventually. You know, the game's going to be over before you know it. All right. So Katarine and company go help out the remnants of the Warriors right there. And yeah, man, we're hanging out. This is good. How you guys doing, man? You guys having fun? Hope so. We'll see if we can get a dub for Urson today. That'd be fun. Yeah, these guys, probably we could just go wreck them with our characters at this point. They are getting shot up pretty good. And we do have these scary Furies, which we're going to sandwich. We're going to sandwich them right there. I'm happy to fight the Skull Crushers with my character squad. I'm pretty sure they could just win it because of the big boy. We're going to drop some heals too. So here we come. Katarine is going to take a lot of damage from those probably on impact, but I think the Frostworms will get it done. We'll call over the Dervishes just for a little bit of shock damage too. On the back point, complete route. Looks like we're safe over here. It was a good attempt for sure, but we were just so far ahead it doesn't really matter. You know, like with this value lead, it's going to be very tricky to come back from. I'm sure Khorne will be very... Khorne is already, I'd say, a very solid mid-tier faction, probably on the same strength level as Kislev. I think this game is mainly an experience difference in terms of army building. My opponent seems to have very good micro. Like the way they were moving their like Furies and like layering charges was very good. I just think that was kind of a build loss to an extent. I think the build was not good against me. You know, you got really expensive infantry. The throwing axes are good, but you need some Minotaurs. There were some. They just didn't get called in. Okay. Yeah. Valkia is also really good in that matchup, too. All right. Boris? Yeah, there are matchups where Boris is good. Let me talk to my opponent. Oh, yes. All right. Yeah, my opponent, honestly, a ton of potential on that player. Very, very good micro. I just think the army needed to be changed up a little bit. But the micro is really good. The army just needs to be different. Yeah. More Minotaurs on the field earlier, because my heavy cav were bullying the infantry way too hard. You have... Need some... to stop my cav. He says wasn't expecting Genghis Khan levels of horsemen. That's funny, yeah. Kislev is a heavy cav faction, so they're usually going to be partying with their heavy cav pretty hard. All right, so off to a good start. So far, so good. And yeah, man. You want Rasputin? I mean, I will use Rasputin in some matchups for sure. Did my opponent ever report the game? Oh, okay. So be it. Cool beans, man. It's actually warm today. What the hell? This weather? It's supposed to be winter. I don't know what witchcraft this is. So if I were playing Khorne against Kislev, my build would look something like this probably. All right. Valky is an auto take. She bullies like all the Kislev lords and Sleipnir too. Aside from that, I would even consider double cultist. Like double cultist to screen the hybrid shooting and get into combat and just grind and then summon bloodletters. Something along these lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I would probably go kind of cheapo here on these guys and maybe slip in, at least 3 Marauder Horsemen because they counter the heavy cap pretty well, right? From there, I would probably start with 1 Minotaur. Yeah. Yeah, and Valkyria. Okay, so this would probably be my opening build against them. From here, you can actually even throw in a Skull Cannon. The new Skull Cannons are pretty good. Hounds of the Blood Hunt, maybe 2 more Flesh Hounds. 1 Halberd Warrior isn't a bad idea, but really Bloodletters are going to be your best friend in the mid game. Once the shooting kind of dies down, those guys do some work. Definitely want some Furies. You can probably go 2 Bloodletters and then get another Minotaur of Khorne. And 2 Flesh Hounds is probably adequate, so you can find some reserves elsewhere. Yeah, like something along these lines would be pretty good. I'm not a big enjoyer of the dual weapon warriors. You could go, man, it's such an odd amount of money to have left. You could go a little bit more budget, just cut the Flesh Hounds and then get like 1 Exalted Bloodletter isn't a bad idea. They have insane killing power in the late game. So you could try that. Or you for that 1200, what else could we mix in? Spawn aren't very good. You could do another Skull Cannon too. Skull Cannons are good if there's no Little Grom. If there's Little Grom, they can have issues, but on that map, you can hide the Skull Cannons behind the pillar and be really annoying. So, like, depending on the map, Skull Cannons could be very viable, or you just go Exalted Bloodletter like this. This is probably a very strong build against Kislev. Now, Chosen is a little bit risky against Kislev. They can work, like a shielded Chosen, if they don't have, like, Blizzard magic, like the Tempest to, like, bombard them, maybe. But this would be something I would say around, would be the direction I would go. All right, so let's refresh this, see how we're looking. Cool, a couple more games to go. And we are currently undefeated with a handful of other players. So Ulrich, Rawl, Boss Toss, myself, Attack Speed Enjoyer, Apostate. Oh, we have an undefeated Chorf player today, which is pretty exciting. 2 wins out of the gates for Hashit. Warhammer 3 is having a massive sale right now. That's pretty awesome. I didn't know that. Is Khorne getting a... Yeah, I'm sure Khorne's going to be getting a lot of cool stuff. What I'm most excited for is actually greenskins, though. Yeah, because I know in the trailer we saw the Mangler Squigs and all that, so I'm pretty hyped to just see what kind of capabilities those kind of units have. Who wins in a 1v1? A Chaos Knights with Lances or Winged Hussars? Oh, definitely the Chaos Knights. Because Chaos Knights are like another category above them, right? Like Chaos Knights with Lances cost 1,400. Winged Lancers of Kislev cost 1,000. It's a 400 gold difference, and it wouldn't be that close because these things have 130 armor. They have a better stat line. They cost 1,500. Excuse me, the Cornate ones. But if we're just talking like regular Chaos Knights with Lances, they're 1,400. Yeah. So these things will crush Winged Lancers in combat, but they're slower too. They have 70 speed. Winged Lancers are. They have 84 speed, so they're a lot quicker, and they have Glorious Charge too. So I would say overall, the Winged Lancers are probably a better individual unit than the Chaos Knight with Lances, but in a straight fight, the Chaos Knights would win that. Yeah. So that's the jam. There's a Black Friday sale right now for the Total War franchise. Yeah, check it out if you guys are interested. I'm a massive fan of a single dreaded elite infantry unit. Yeah, no, same here. I like having a sleeper elite unit. If you can like slip it into the battle without your opponent noticing and they just think it's like a Chaos Warrior or something, a chosen unit will grind you a lot of value. It's nice. You're happy you can play another Ogre campaign. Yeah, the Ogre campaign is pretty awful right now. The existing one. Khorne DLC is very one-dimensional. It's an Yeah, Khorne will be fun. Don't you guys worry. Although I have to agree that the trailer was. I didn't really care for the trailer for this one. Like the Thrones of Decay trailer was so much better. Let me just go ahead and switch it to the right map already for the next round. So we're on the Arachnarok lair, which is kind of a brawler map. All right, Arachnarok lair is going to be the map. So that's going to be more brawl-centric, less shooting. So you've been seeing like shooting Kislev builds for the past previous games, but this next game will probably be a little bit more knockdown, drag out, melee combat using heavy war sleds and things like that. Yeah, it was a bit of a weak trailer, I agree. It wasn't like awful, but it was just like Thrones of Decay was so much better. You have like Tamarkand besieging Nuln, and like it's straight out of the lore, right? Although in the lore, Tamarkand sieges Nuln with the Chaos Dwarves. Because in the Tamarkand storyline, what ends up happening is Tamarkand's hordes do they massively outnumber Drazhoath the Ashen in this huge battle, and the Chaos Dwarves, go to war with Tamarkand, and Tamarkand has like this epic fight, and it's like super atrocious. And in the end, Tamarkand's massive legion overwhelms the Chaos Dwarves. But Tamarkand, strangely, being very diplomatic, he realizes that the Chaos Dwarves' technology and hardiness would be very useful for besieging the Empire. So Tamarkand spares Drazhoath and the Legion of Asgore. And they join forces after that. So then the Chaos Dwarves join forces with Tamarkand and they besiege Nuln, which is where Elspeth and I can't remember what other characters are there, but she basically they defend Nuln and Tamarkand is actually killed. The coruscating blast, the breath attack that Elspeth has on her dragon is what kills Tamarkand in the actual story, to my knowledge. But there might be some lore people here who can explain that, but I'm fairly certain that's how it goes down. Are you looking into a referral link? Yeah, I probably should do that, honestly. I'm a bit of an idiot. Thrones of Decay had a much stronger theme. It did, yeah. CA is really good at making trailers, man. Like, for me, I think the GOAT trailer makers are old school Blizzard trailers. Like, old school Blizzard, like StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Warcraft 3 trailers were, like, the GOAT trailers for me. And then, honestly, Creative Assembly would be right behind them. Like, the Immortal Empires trailer they did was so freaking good, where Karl Franz is giving the speech. God, that's like one of my favorite game trailers of all time, I think. Oh, so no. Okay, so somebody in lore knows. No, the amulet kills him. Okay. So Elspeth gives Bruckner, which explodes and kills him. So Bruckner gets an amulet and then kills Tamarkand. Thank you, guys. Correction. I knew I didn't know the lore very accurately there. I kind of had a ballpark idea. The amulet Elspeth gave Theodore kills them both. Okay, got it. Yeah. Thank you, guys. The lore nerds, they're backing me up. Thank you. Because I'm not really a lore guy. I know like the basics, but I knew there was some sort of a cataclysmic ending to that where Theodore or someone gets karate chopped. All right. 2 games left to finish. Subutai versus Grombrindle and Soybacta versus Kydrint. We have some absolute killers in today's tournament, by the way. A lot of top leaderboard players. And if you guys want to see the... let me find it here. A leaderboard right now. Currently, Boss Toss is our #1 ranked player this season. Looking good with 6 tournament wins. We have Scrambled Egg Special, Tim the Wilder, Outer Region, Harrison, Solasora, LVO, Blood Penguin Via, myself, Martin, Attack Speed Enjoyer, Rusto, Poison, Hitman Hippo, and Subutai here, rounding it off. So we're going to have a very short Season 8. Season 8 is going to be a rapid-fire season. I know it just started recently, but I'm going to end Season 8 when the DLC comes out, and we're going to have a Season 8 Grand Finals and go into Season 9. So it'll be a very fast turnover, which I think will be fun, because it just means that we get another really, really fast big tournament shortly after, which I think is going to be great. Yeah. Who is the least played faction in the game? Let's look. So the least played faction in the game... Bretonnia has 62 games. Bretonnia. No, Ogre Kingdoms. So the least 2 played factions in multiplayer are in domination, and at least in our community, is Ogre Kingdoms and Bretonnia are the least popular. Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, Ogres are very strong, but Bretonnia is super hard to play. Like, Bretonnia can win tournaments, but they require really, really top-tier micro and decision-making. Yeah. A trailer could be an 8-bit if Franz in turn would think it was sweet. That's true. You caught me. Yeah, Tim is extremely good. That's right. Norska gets played more than Norska gets played more, right? Did I overlook Norska? Yeah, Norska has almost 100 games. Norska is more popular than Ogre Kingdoms and Bretonnia right now. Yeah. Legendary Lord Tournament. Legendary Lord Tournaments are really a nightmare to run, but maybe I'll consider doing one. Because you need to get over, there's, 100 Legendary Lords in the game right now? So I could do 4 groups of like 25. Something like that. I don't know. Utility status of Kislev's light heavy war sleds. The heavy war sleds are still good. The light war sleds, the jury's still out on those. Because they are very squishy, comparatively speaking. I think heavy war sleds are typically going to be the way to go, but, you know. Maybe if you want sleds and you're facing an armor-piercing heavy faction, you just go with the light ones to save the money because you're paying for armor, which isn't really going to be useful anyways. Just kind of a thought. Yeah. Yeah, all right. So checking here. All right, cool. And let's set this up here and get the next round going. All right. Yeah, I think I agree with Harrison. I think the light sleds are a little bit too squishy. Okay, cool. So we're ready for the next round. I'm going to go ahead and advance it here. Yeah, Norska is really good, man. And you know who's really good at Norska is Boss Toss. So Boss Toss is very strong. We've been having a lot of epic duels, him and I. And yeah, his Norska is something to fear for sure. All right, round 3 is live. Let's see what's cooking. So far, Urson is happy. As long as we go 50-50, I'm always happy in tournaments. As long as we don't have a losing record. Hasn't happened in a while. All right. So we got Ulrich Rahl, very strong player here. And all right. And the round is done. So goblins, round 3 is live. All right, so let's play Ulrich. Ulrich's a really strong player. He's been an OG Warhammer player since the olden days. Been many a faction war. And also played in the Season 7 Grand Finals. He was in the Grand Finals for last season. So this should be a fun match. Okay, so let's see what Ulrich is playing. Is it going to be something scary? SFT Declaration, Ulrich Rahl. Sometimes there's a little bit of lag with him. That's the only downside. He is in Eastern Europe. So there's a bit of lag over there, which is all good in the neighborhood. Ulrich, where is he? Yeah, I don't see who he's declared. So we'll figure it out when he gets in the lobby, I guess. Cool, man. Who died to a couple rats and a skeleton? Let's see, you guys are still talking lore. How do you collect data of faction win rate on Total Tavern? Yeah, so after every single match, Kenny, when you report your score on Total Tavern, you have to pick what faction you were playing and what faction your opponent was playing. So then it just keeps track of it that way. It's very simplistic, and it works great, honestly. It gives us a lot of good data, and it definitely is like a pretty good metric of the at least the top factions, I would say, which is cool. All right, so Ulrich has been given the invite. Hopefully he is still around. Didn't disappear into the shadows anywhere. I think I can search in the Discord and see his declaration anyways. Wood Elves. Okay. Wood Elves are actually very hard to deal with nowadays. Probably even not bad into Kislev here, but we will see. Wood Elves are incredibly meta. Durthu is an unholy pain, which is funny because it makes you kind of want to bring some Streltsy. All right. So I think we're going to do a little something like this. A little something like this. Any chance of seeing another Feral Carnosaur? I mean, I don't know if we have Lizard players here today, but probably so. I would expect there to be some of that action. Yeah, that's for sure going to be the power play here. Yeah, it's very difficult to dive Wood Elf back lines now, you know? It's so hard. It used to be very good, but now they have so many. Like, what most Wood Elf players are going to do is go double Melkoth's caster and just be an absolute problem for you. You know, they're going to be a menace. I think we do this, and we could mix in, cut all these. Yes, please. All right. I think that's all right. Do we want some light cav? I mean, our skirmish cav can do okay here. As far as the lore choices go, you can go with like a foot Rasputin or something. I mean, this would be a situation where you would want a foot Rasputin, maybe. like Katarina on the sled is also incredibly good because she counters so much of the infantry. She is a little bit vulnerable to being focus fired down though, so you gotta put a lot of respect on that. Looks like Ulrich's already ready. So, what else have been crushing lately, man? They certainly have. All right, let's get you bare bones here. I think that's fine. And yeah, because now he has Wildwood Rangers too, right? Which are a little bit scary. Wildwood Rangers are no joke. Okay, so we're gonna try something very unorthodox here, and hopefully it'll work out. Now, what's our best way of dealing with the Wildwood Rangers? Probably just like Shock Cav in general are gonna be very good. Like Winged Lancers probably still are a go-to for you here, I think. Now foot characters. I think this character has to be brought on a mount, right? No, it doesn't actually. Okay. So does it do magic damage? It does. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool. Let's see what other abilities. Totem here. Oh. That's cool. I don't hate that. Okay. I think that's kind of a fun start. So then we have a little bit of dough left here. And 900 G's left to spend. Do I want any speedy cav? Things in the woods? Yeah. No, Durthu is a problem for sure. He's very scary. Yeah. You got to put some respect on his name. I don't even hate bringing like a single Streltsy unit just to keep Durthu honest. Because otherwise he's going to be very, very difficult to deal with for sure. Let's cut you. I'm going to try something really funky here. It could work horribly, or it could work really well, and we will be heroes of the old world. I don't hate this, though, so far. I don't hate it. And then, man, just Kislev units are so expensive. It's like such an awkward amount of money. It is indeed. All right, so let's get 1, 2, and then we got, what, 450 left? Is that even enough? I guess we get one of you guys. Screw it. All right, that's an okay opening force. We have this, and as far as monsters go, is a Frostworm useful here at all? Probably not. I mean, there's so many spears and bows on this faction. It just feels terrible. Light war sleds running over the infantry. You know, maybe they're less vulnerable against the like the Melkoth spam, right? So maybe that's not a terrible idea. I don't hate it. Okay, throwing you. And I think that is going to be enough. We probably could use a little bit more infantry. 1, 2, 3. So let's get this. Get another one of these. And then throw in a bad boy there. All right, good luck, have fun. This build is very experimental, but it could be very good. All right, let's see how it goes. You know, I haven't played against Wood Elves this patch yet with Kislev. This is my first game. And also, it's not an open field map. This map is very weird. It's like a brawler map. So I'm expecting Wildwood Rangers for sure. Turner, you aware of the current shadow buff to Chaos Orb's mortar train where it can fire in melee and nuke everything around it? It's been like that for a while, hasn't it? Yeah, even still, it's probably more of a land battle thing. No, Ulrika is rough here. She gets sniped too easily. I did bring a character though. I brought several characters. So I'm going to be using a little character hammer, which I think is pretty good. We'll find out. I mean, I could just get wrecked. Durthu could just come in and just tree slap all of us. The Zargard rush. No, Zargard are too risky now. With the new Wildwood Rangers having like just being stock and, you know, anti-infantry and just wrecking them. Yeah, it's not good. You don't want that. You don't want it. Yeah, Rangers will wreck your armored infantry. So I think you want to bring some, of course, but it's risky. Yeah, it's very risky. Let me check here, see how we're doing. Yep, everybody's got their opponents. So far, undefeated players. We have Via Anime, Attack Speed Enjoyer, Subutai, Ulrich, Bostas, Scrambled Egg, myself, Flidden, and Apostate. So, yeah, very good range of factions. I think everyone there is playing a different faction, which is pretty neat. Yeah, it's a little bit slow to load in. Do we see the Golden Knight? Oh, Edward might be onto something. Yeah. The blocker is up still? No way. Oh, it still is. Okay, well, it's fine. It's still loading anyway, so. You guys remember the Forbidden Blocker cast? It was like a faction war like 4 years ago where we left it up for the entire game. Oh my god, I don't even know how that happens, man. The entire game. Entire game we had that blocker up. So I brought some pretty powerful foot characters. Durthu's going to be a problem, though. I'm definitely nervous about Durthu. He's super meta now, too. I did bring some tech against him, but, like, I don't want to over-invest into Durthu and then not have him be brought and just lose the game. So I didn't go super balls deep into it, right? All right. So here's our army. We have Armored Kossars, a couple in the front, and actually ambushers, actually. So the ambushers are stealth. We got Felix and Nyarska. So they're going to be boyfriend-girlfriend down here. And, dude, look how cool that character looks. Oh, so badass. Damn. So the Golden Knight is, like, super durable, does magic damage, and has frostbite. I didn't bring any abilities, just kind of bare bones. So I was like, maybe that'll be good. We'll see. All right, so we got some light cav. We're going to go try and jam over here and grab this objective. And for the Hunts ladies, they're going to do this. I think I have to play the middle. Even though it is kind of like open field, it's a little bit scary. I think we need to play it. And we're going to kind of move you guys down to support here. And these characters can just be grouped up in here. I think it's fine. We're going to see how this goes. We're gonna give it a good college try. Good luck, have fun to Ulrich. I'm sweating bullets here. I don't know what to do against Wood Elves, but we're gonna find out. Historically, Kislev used to beat them, but that was before all the waves of buffs that Wood Elves got. So that was like a long time ago. All right, so let's move you guys up. And Zarina on the sled is gonna go. Oh no, it's actually a prey caster. Okay, that's fine.
This is a mere distraction.
So the prey of an Othrema is upon us. All right. So we're gonna move you up. We have a Melkos caster, which is fine. If my opponent wants to use Melkos on my freaking cheapo cav, I have no problem with that. So we're going to head here. We're going to get everybody rolling. I do have Little Grom, a lot of Starfire Shafts. So we still get this objective for sure. And I got to watch out. I'm sure there's some Way Watchers back there ready to cause some havoc. And we have double Waystalker. All right, awesome. In the meantime, let's get some Zargard down there. So we're going to send some good quality infantry down there and see if they can grab that. In the meantime, Zarina's just going to hang out and just chill. And we do manage to steal this objective here on the side, so we're just going to park there. Zarina's going to be living in the trees, her natural habitat. No Durthu pick, though. I was really expecting it. Hopefully my characters don't just get sniped instantly. I'll have to see, but we are going to get that side objective. Arrow of Karnas, really good spell. It's pretty damn strong. We are able to get that, and we're just going to park you on the outside of the objective there. Zarina's just going to be hanging out. We can go poke some of the Dryads here real quick. And let's get you, and let's get you. And the Akshinos, we need to take Fire at Will off and just kind of creep up like so. We're going to do this and see if I can charge in there and get a little freebie, maybe. It's not going to be easy, that's for damn sure. And yeah, let's see how this goes. All right, so we do get the hybrid shooting. Let's move up, move up. Zarina's doing it, and now she's going to run back into the trees. So we're going to do a little Ice Maiden's Kiss right there, which should do a lot of damage. Nice. So we do get caught. Let's go ahead and get a Frostfang going here. And, oh shit, did I forget to bring a Patriarch? I did. That's really bad, actually. Prey's going to wear off in a couple seconds, but yeah, I definitely screwed the pooch. I thought that I could get back in the trees in time. All right, so is Zarina going to escape, or am I just going to lose the game here? All right, it looks like she's going to escape. So we have a chance, you know, because Felix can heal her, so it's not the end of the world. All right, let's fight, and cool. So she survives the prey of an Othrema, just barely. Hopefully we can get a triple cap on my opponents. So let's creep up here. Do a little bit of this, and you guys shoot there. And now Zarina needs to just like flee the scene and play uber cautious basically the rest of the match. So we're gonna do that. All right, so Zarina's juking, yeah, all right, just ever so slightly, and now we're gonna get in range here. Start shooting at those Wildwood Rangers. We do have heavy war sleds, which I'm a little bit tempted to try actually, just see how they do. Let's give it a good college try here. All right, so Zarina's gonna hang out nearby. And the foot characters seem to be doing well. We do get the Melkos going down. Branch Wraith is trying to get close. Look at the damage we got on those Wildwood Rangers, though. Pretty sweet, huh? All right, so that's good. Let's start shooting here. We managed to get a lot of HP damage on those. And the Zargard are here. They're going to push these guys off. We're not going to overcast because I don't want to risk taking the damage, but we'll do an Ice Maiden's Kiss there. Pull back this way. And pretty much all my opponent's value is from the damage on Zarina. So those are just regular Wild Riders, so I'm hoping that we can sandwich in and get them. All right, so the heavy war sleds have arrived. Zarina's going to go lurk in the bushes here, and our Akshinas are fine. You know, they took a little bit of damage, but nothing too bad. Felix and Nyarska are doing work. They're able to chop through quite a bit. We're just going to keep our character, our Zarina, hidden in the trees. Let's do this and see if we can run down some of those. We have these guys to start shooting there. And the pack trap boys are just going to retreat back. Meanwhile, our horse archers, how are they getting wrecked so badly? Oh my god. That's some damage right there. All right, so the Zargard can go after the Great Stag Knights. We're going to retreat you back this way. And Collins probably just going to be dervishes to just get down here and do their thing. Yeah. So just retreat. Let's go ahead and summon in a Snow Leopard to try and deal with that. As far as this goes, let's get you and you back online and have you guys start shooting at the Rangers here. And you guys shoot at these guys here. Let's call you guys across. And Snow Leopard can get in there. And unfortunately, the heavy war sleds do kind of get compromised a little bit. But I think Tsarina and company should be able to put some hurt on them. We do have a Frostmane's Kiss there, looking fine. And now let's run back into the tree line, and hopefully we can endure. All right, so let's just keep pushing through. And you guys shoot here. You guys shoot here. The dervishes are hot on the tail of those units. Zargard's going to come back this way. And Tsarina Katarine is going to go ahead and get a little bombard right there while we shoot these guys. All right. So far, so good. We're hanging in there. That's for sure. Snow Leopard can go here, hunt these guys down. We'll keep Tsarina in the bushes. That's her new natural habitat. Shoot these guys, and we need to keep Nyarska and this other character together. So we're going to go ahead and get a dervish unit to just try and run down these dryads real quick if we can. Cool. So we're hanging in there. You know, we're trying. Those guys are going to be moving about. The heavy war sleds can kind of weasel back over here. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and charge and provide support to the Zargard. Zargard are very tanky, so we should be able to, take it like a champ. In the meantime, you guys just charge forth and get on these archers here. So we need to start trying to penetrate into the archer line a little bit better. So we're gonna make an effort to do that if we can. All right. So Tsarina lives in her tree habitat. That's her new home. This pit fight over here is not going badly. We are actually scrapping back value in some ways, I would say. Those archers are getting wasted here. Let's go ahead and pull you back. Get these guys to start shooting here. We're going to keep them for sure. And Felix and Yarska are causing some havoc, although it looks like now we're being pressed on this side, which is a little bit unfortunate. Okay, so how is this fight going? The heavy war sleds are getting hunted by the Great Stags pretty effectively. It seems like they have a lot of good answers for our attack. The Zargard, though, are doing better than I expected. So let's get the heavy war sleds to come back. Tsarina probably was the wrong choice. I feel like she's just kind of getting perpetually punished. All right, so let's move up here. Get these dervishes to retreat back a little bit. Come down here, maybe head them off. See if we can maintain a point. All right, so how are the dervishes doing here? Yeah, the Great Stag Knights are also just so freaking strong. Yeah, they're doing really good work against us. All right, let's call in some heavy cav. See if maybe the Winged Lancers can get the job done where some of the other characters can't. I do like the foot characters, though. The foot characters feel pretty useful. They feel like they're doing some good work to me. We got the Wild Hunters of Kurnus being called in now, too, but I think we're dead. I think we're toast. I think my build sucked. I think Tsarina was not good. She's too big of a target. I think you need to just go, like, foot characters and kind of do your thing there. Yeah, that's got to be it. But on the bright side, we get a good, strong tiebreaker here because Ulrich is likely to go undefeated. Wood Elves are probably the strongest faction of the game, and he's very good too. So that's going to be a nice little tiebreaker for us. But never say die. I'm going to keep fighting, see if we can weasel some value back here in some way. These are Wildwood Rangers, so we can definitely run them down with our heavy cav. And yeah, like Arrow of Kurnus sniping, look at that. That's so brutal. Yeah, Tsarina's just a stupid choice. That's what cost us this game. She's just basically getting karate chopped. Those archers are not even worth trying to compromise here. Tsarina is basically on death's bed. We do manage to run those guys down. Armored Kossars could be called in, but yeah, Tsarina just absolutely threw this game. She's such a big target. Gives up so much value. But I really like the foot characters. I really, really do. All right. So let's run these guys down and get the heavy war sleds to run into these. Let's get some more Winged Lancers coming out. I do think like maybe I put a little bit too much fear on the Durthu. Yeah, maybe a little bit too much healthy respect for Durthu here. All right, so let's try and value trade our way back in. We do get a bit of a pit fight here, and we are wavering some of the units, but overall that's definitely going to favor my opponent's stuff. We have a healthy Winged Lancer coming out. Zargard can head back to the point, and Tsarina Katarine is just dying in the trees. Yeah, she is just having a bad time. Keep shooting into these guys. Yeah, keep wasting the Great Stag Knights if we can. We have some units hanging out over on the side objective there. They're enjoying their vacation. Any sense in taking this fight here? There are Eternal Guard there, which is tough. And we do have the Wildwood Ranger characters battling our two characters. Tsarina, is going to die soon. We're going to get folded up. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's grab this. Yeah, Wood Elf seems so good now, man. It's crazy. Like, now that they have an armor-piercing cav unit, too, that's, like, not a Great Stag Knight. That's a huge buff. All right. Let's see if we can head off these units. Probably not going to be free. Tsarina is going to live in the trees. Yeah, looks like Tsarina got popped. There goes, like, 2,500 gold. The foot-based characters wavering because of Tsarina. Maybe Felix will stabilize. Okay, looks like they do stabilize there. But they're doing very well. That's one of the few units that's doing, I would say, very good for me. All right, so we get the cav there. Do we have any light cav to call in? Just pile into this big blob fight, see if we can grind any value out. We're still up on points, right? So kind of hoping my opponent will make some sort of a mistake, but I highly doubt it. Both these units are wavering, which is bad. We could attack into the Wild Hunters of Kurnus or go down here. I mean, the Wood Elves don't... I guess it's just this big cav blob that they have that's doing work, right? No. It is indeed. All right, let's attack the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. Yeah, so we're going to pile into them. Just trying to attrition those bad boys down. We'll move forward a little bit aggressively here. Attack these. Our foot characters, what kind of value are we seeing on them? I'm really curious to see how they performed at the end of the game. Drake is extremely good in this matchup too, because she just spams Melkoths against all the heavy cav. And it's very, very good. All right, we're just basically in desperation mode at this point with Dervish spam. I'm ready to tap out here in a second. Winged Lancers, you know, they're doing okay. I suppose they're probably performing well-ish. Only 300 value. Yarska is still going strong. I'm curious to see what kind of value she has. About 500 value. She only costs, I think, 800 gold with the current kit I brought. So not terrible. Let's retreat back this way. Attack into the Wild Hunters here. And Felix has returned. Somehow Palpa Felix has returned. Let's retreat back and see if we can lure them into our zone. I wonder what playstyle we would use against this, though. Like, did we just do Little Groms? On this map, we can't really use Little Groms. That's part of the problem. The pit fight here is going all right, but overall, still favoring my my enemy here. Okay, let's retreat you. Let's do a Wild Rider fight here so we can turn around and attack. We're still holding on to one objective, which is cute. I don't know how that's possible, but don't ask questions. Sometimes you just got to take the small things in life. Dervisher is able to pick off a couple Glade Riders as they retreat, so not the worst trade in the world. Felix and Yarska battling it out. Those are the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. Unfortunately for me, they have really good armor piercing. And the new Wildwood Rangers are also very, very risky too. Yeah, there's a lot of new buffs they got that make them very good here, I think. Okay, so Collins? What do we even do at this point? Griffin Legion? Yeah, a little Griffon Legion. Brussels Griffon Legion. All right, let's get these guys out. Yeah, our two characters are broken. The side point's gone. I think this game's over. GG, well played. Yeah, really, really scary, man. I have no idea how to approach that. I think you might need to go foot character squad just to avoid being sniped, because the Arrow of Kurnus is going to snipe any mounted characters really, really well. GG, well played. Report score, please. So let's go to the drawing board, because if we do manage to make it to the top 4, which is still possible if we win our last game, I need to know how to beat Wood Elves, because they're so popular. They're so strong. Yeah. Now, how do we beat them? On that map, I don't think we can really beat them easily because of all the trees and terrain that blocks our artillery. On an open field map, we could perhaps go with a little Grom opening. And do we just go wide with armored Kossars and then like cheap Kossar bows to just try and like value trade? You know, something like this. There's no way, right? That's going to be so bad. The armored Kossars did okay, though, until the Wildwood Rangers arrived. The heavy chariot was bad. We did learn that. In reserves, I think you need full dervishes and full probably winged lancers. I think that's going to be your reserve line. So Lord Choice is here. Definitely not Boris. I think Rasputin's fine. So with Rasputin, you would do... Probably don't want that. You probably just want his heal, and Blaze the Devotion is good. He gives fire damage in an aura. You probably need a map with a home objective, so you could just like blob fight over the middle. And I think you do need artillery for sure. So Felix, and then you would need to bring a wizard from here. So the Hag Witches are probably a stupid idea because they're on Chariot. Unfortunately, that is what you would want, because you would want the probably the Flock of Doom, right? So you would want just Flock of Doom spam and cut that. But that's so, yeah, I guess you just have to be uber conservative. You just have to like hide them in the back tree. I would even like on an open field map go double Little Grom. Like something like this feels really good out of the gates. For sure. Aside from this, Snow Leopards are all right. You could do Oath Brothers, like an Oath Brothers build. But now they have the great Stag Knights and the Wild Hunters of Kurnus, so I feel like that's not going to be good for you. Streltsy aren't very useful here. The Zargard actually did reasonably well. They fought for a long time, so there was that. Yeah, Rasputin has his heal too. Yeah, we have the Salax Lullaby on him. The low HP heal, I don't think they're going to actually kill him, but you could just pick that because of, yeah, this opening feels better. But you see, this wouldn't work on the map I just played because the hills and the line of sight blocking. So maybe it's just kind of a cursed situation on that map. You definitely don't want any big monsters. Their archer line's just going to rip into shreds. I didn't hate the cheapo archers. The Akshinas were all right. The Akshinas were okay, but I think the Akshinas we need to just kill with Flock of Doom. From here, do we mix in the Zargard? We could do the Watchmen and the Knight. They're actually not bad, but they're not shielded. The Akshinas are cool. You could do a Streltsy unit because they at least can fight a little bit in melee when they get dove on by like Wild Riders and things like that. So Streltsy and Snow Leopards I'm not a fan of here. I don't think they're going to be very good. I think we have enough heavy cav. And probably double Zargard at this point. Just like you call out Zargard and like you will value super, super hard here. Because Little Groms and Flock of Doom are going to crush the Wood Elves pretty hard on an open field map. They'll still value trade you in the front line, but you will maintain at least an equal value situation because Little Groms are kind of good against everything, right? So let's save that. I think this build is pretty good. Kislev versus Wood Elves. So if we do end up facing Wood Elves again in the tournament, we will have an answer for them. I don't like the Snowcats. I'm not a big enjoyer of those. Okay, so handful of games left to finish. Do we have a chance at top 4? It depends on how our other tiebreakers are doing, and it looks like they're doing pretty well. So if Ulrich wins his next game, and then the previous 2 players we played are able to win some games, then we will have a chance at top 4. How'd Lahoot do in round 2? Hopefully they didn't lose. Oh man, that's not good. One of our tiebreakers lost in round 2. All good. We just need to win this last game. 3-1 would be solid. Yeah. I think this build's really good. It's very simplistic. Little Groms are incredibly hard for Wood Elves to deal with. Yeah, and we'll give it a try. We will give it a try. Yeah, the Leopards are just going to get surrounded by their cav and die. 100%. The Bear, no play. You don't really need the things in the woods. They're very weak against missile fire. And I think this will also counter Durthu, right? Yeah, this would counter Durthu. What's your question? Yeah, the Golden Knight wasn't terrible, but in this build I can't really afford to bring the Golden Knight, so. Although you could cut Felix and go Golden Knight, although the Golden Knight bare bones costs I think 1,000. So if you bring her like bare bones, yeah, it's just out of our price range. And the Hag is already like as little as you can get. I could cut Koljuna Spirit. That's actually not a terrible idea, but that summon is very good. It's very, very good. But you could cut Koljuna Spirit and bring Narska because she's a little better at killing Wood Elf Infantry, right? And has higher leadership. She does magic damage and frostbite, so her and Rasputin together could be quite a power couple, actually. But Felix does give that passive healing, which is so good. But yeah, she's shielded too, so if she gets caught in the open, okay, arguably this might be better. Yeah, the heavy cav, we probably need more of it, but the thing is, Wood Elf cav can fight your cav now. In the olden days, it couldn't. Wild Riders were trash. Stag Knights were okay, I guess, but for the most part, the new ROR with armor piercing, and then yeah, that really changed the game. The Green Knight. Ulrika is a little vulnerable to snipe. She's very expensive too. If you bring Ulrika on a horse, you can bring her with just Melkoths. And you would obviously want to bring her healing. Yeah, she'd be 1,500 just for a Melkoth spammer. On foot, 1,250, but she's really easy to snipe. She only has 50 armor and a very low HP pool, so I think that is probably not going to be a good call. Yeah, not going to be a good call. How are we looking? All right. So we're cruising for a bruising. Undefeated players so far. I have a feeling Ulrich might be making a run for it today. He's looking very strong on those Wood Elves. Although, what counters Wood Elves? Let me see. Wood Elves apparently struggle versus... It's hard to say. Yeah, High Elves, Dark Elves, Chaos Dwarves are good against Wood Elves. Interesting. Yeah, but they're not like players on Ulrich's level. Apparently Norska is a very good counter against Wood Elves too. That kind of makes sense. Like Skin Wolves with just like durable infantry swarming all over the place. It seems very tough to deal with. Yeah. Any thoughts on the next DLC? Not yet. Soon. Very soon. On the 4th, we're going to be able to show it. So that's when on December 4th, we're going to have a, what's it called? A stream showing all the goodness. Are you really going to be summoning all 4 Winged Lancers in one match? I think so, actually, yeah. I think so. Can you share some knowledge of how Kislev handles Dowie? I'm not sure. I'm learning Kislev myself, so I'm not like an expert, but Okay, if we were to theorycraft against the Dowie, what would I do? Probably baseline warriors, backed up by a couple great weapons. You definitely... Little Groms are... They do get outranged by the cannon, so I don't think you're going to mess with those. I'd probably go with like some foot combat characters, because Dwarven cannons are going to punish any chariot characters super freaking hard, right? So I'd get a couple of those, and then I would even pick a couple ambushers, including the ROR, probably to snipe slayers. Like, I would use these to ambush and net down like weak targets on the sides, because dwarves are obviously really slow, right? I would bring one little Grom maybe, just to keep gyrocopters honest, although you can also mix in Streltsy in your build. So you can go super wide like this, and then probably a cheap Ice Witch of Tempest, which is Hailstorm spam. That's going to be really good. You can do Blizzard too if you want to, but Hailstorm is just a great spell. So you cut all this, you cut all this. You could even cut Arcane Conduit, but yeah, probably keep that, it's fine. And how much do we have left? 1175. Yeah, you could do the RWAR Streltsy too, it's fine. Something like this would probably be my opening build against dwarves. And then in mobility, in the reserve, you would just have a lot of mobility. So you would just have a million dervishes. Probably you could go maybe one or two, maybe one winged lancer followed up by things in the woods, because they're really good against dwarves. So you would just max out on those. They're your best like anti-infantry option against dwarves. One heavy war sled is actually a respectable idea, but I think we're already kind of committed to going this direction. You could also slap in like a Zargard great weapon if you want to have something kind of sleeper cool, but I think another Streltsy in reserve isn't bad. Followed up by... It would be cool to bring these guys, yeah, but I think you just go with... Yeah, it's tricky. I guess in the opening army, we would want to have some mobility, because dwarves suck at grabbing the objectives initially. So maybe we do something like this. Yeah. Okay, that looks a little bit better. You could downgrade this. The snares aren't super important against dwarves. Okay, and then from here you could just pick up like one more spell probably. It would be fine. So I'd recommend Blizzard. Yeah, so this is good out of the gates because you can grab the objectives quickly. And then in reserves, you'll have another Streltsy and another Armored Kossar. Like something like this probably, I think would be pretty good. Yeah, that seems very solid against dwarves, because the gyros you can shoot with your Streltsy, and the horse archers are good for just diving and grabbing objectives and things like that. Dervishes don't trade super well into Dowie units, but you have to remember they're like unbreakable diving pieces too. So if you really need to shut down like a thunder, a coiler, or an artillery piece like a bolt thrower, you can send them in, and they can be. You want to shoot slayers with them, like any sort of a slayer unit. You want to shoot those guys. Yeah. So that's kind of the direction you would want to go. All right, checking here. Yes. On Tourney page. Okay. Somebody was asking me if there's any old school restrictions on units. There's only restrictions on a couple units that are bugged. In domination mode, I find that in land battle, there's a lot of restrictions on units, but Dom, you don't really need any. I don't know why. It's weird. I mean, even the CA caps are fine for Dom. I think it's because like cheese builds that would be really busted in land battle that kind of are centered around a bunch of single entities aren't good in Dom because they can't control objectives. Okay, my tiebreaker is actually pretty good. If you take a look here at the old tourney so far, so let me pull this up. Yeah. So I'm currently number 5 in the tournament today. And we still have a couple games to finish. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, so my tiebreakers did good that round. Lahoot won their game. And I think the Corn player that we played earlier also won their game. Let me see. Yep, nice. Good job, Valakant. That's my boy right there. We got our 2 tiebreakers coming in at the steel chair. All right, so then if they continue winning and Ulrich wins, we have a good chance at top 4. Because my tiebreaker score is very good. It's very, very good. If Ulrich wins and then we get at least one other good tiebreaker, we have a good chance at the top 4. So that's very exciting. Yeah, Streltsy are okay against dwarves. You have to remember Streltsy are also armor-piercing melee fighters. So they have a good enough stat line in melee to beat down like dwarf warriors and baseline dwarf units. I like Streltsy actually in the dwarf matchup. Using nets on Dowie is just adding insult to injury. I know, it's definitely overkill. Definitely overkill. All right, so 2 matches left to finish. We have Revan versus Blood Penguin and Mr. Action versus Mr. Hill. Oh, that's funny. Action Murphy. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I'm very excited for the update, though. It's going to be fun. We'll definitely start a new Tavern season, too. So we'll have our top 16, which will be a blast. I always wondered, like, with Total Tavern, if you guys prefer longer seasons or shorter seasons. Like, so back in the day, I used to do ECL, the Eternal Challenger League, was my competitive format for Warhammer 2. And Warhammer 3, it's the Total Tavern seasons. But back in the day, it was 8 weeks of competition with 1 winner each week, followed up by a grand final. Like, so I thought that format was fun, but I thought it was less inclusive. Like, I like the idea of a player being able to grind a season in a bunch of tournaments and like earn a spot over more games, rather than just putting everything on one tournament win. Like, you truly, I feel, get better players when you have a long season. And yeah, I mean, although arguably in Warhammer 2 we were getting the best players because it was Warhammer 2 didn't have as many top tier players, right? Like, I think most tournaments it was like the same 12 people at the top, you know. Do you need to download this map mod? Yeah, you need to download the map mod. Some of them are integrated into the game via Creative Assembly, but many of them aren't. So you definitely need to. Yeah. It's called the Total Tavern Map Pack. I think currently changes seasons with each major update isn't bad. Yeah, I think so too. I think we could shorten the seasons though. We could. Yeah, I'll take feedback. Maybe I'll do a poll in the community section. You guys can let me know what you're thinking. Yeah, the Drugina Lord is actually not bad. Yeah, I don't hate him against dwarves. What does he have? He's got restock for other missile units. He does have an armor-piercing missile. Missile resist, warhorse. Maybe we'll try it out. Maybe we'll try it out. Okay. And refreshing. Should be getting started here soon. Okay, 1 game left to finish, and then we're good to go. It's crazy, man, how World of Warcraft just draws you back in. It's funny, like, I didn't think I was just questing in Dunmoreau, like the Dwarven starting area, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of bored, and I'm going to take a break and rest my hands. And then, like, I was sitting in the garage painting my miniatures, thinking about WoW. It's like that old addiction, you know? Do we have any mods in chat who could drop a Discord link? Yeah, because we disabled a lot of the Discord links because we were getting raided by bots pretty heavily, and they were dropping the dongs on our Discord among other things. So we just disabled the Discord notifications or invites until we could figure out how to stop them. And I know Frost has been doing a lot of good stuff to deal with them, so as well as the other mods. He was working on something fancy. Yeah, Frost could drop an invite if he's ready for it, but if not, Frost, no worries. Drugina plus Akshina is brutal. Yeah. Yeah, no, Kislev's a great faction. They're really fun to play. They feel balanced now. Like, I love playing Kislev. They're one of my 3. Time for turn to join OnlyFangs. No, I'm on the other side. I'm on the Alliance, dude. I am on the same server as the OnlyFangs people, but I'm on the Alliance side. I've always been an Alliance player. Yeah. Dude, hell yeah, dude. I just love the Alliance old school characters like Tyrion Fordring and Uther Lightbringer. Like, all those old school characters, I just like them so much more than the Horde variants, yeah. I have played Horde before, but I always played a human. I'm playing a dwarf this time around, but yeah. Full on Alliance, come on. How dare you guys? Yeah, I like the Dowie too, though. I want to play a dwarf. I think dwarves are so cool. I'm playing a dwarf engineer guy, so I get to craft all these goodies. All right. Are they ready? Okay, Blood Penguin and Revan must be having a duel of duels. I had rank 14 Ret Paladin and OG WoW. Do you mean rank 14 as in arena, or are you talking about in raiding prowess? Yeah, those last 2 weeks, 16-hour day battlegrounds. Oh, so you're talking about in classic WoW. Okay, so like, yeah. I mainly grinded arena in Burning Crusade. Yeah. Me and my buddy got Gladiator on our priest rogue ice mage team, which was pretty good. Yeah, because in the beginning of arena PvP, you could get Gladiator from 2v2. So there was a time where you could get it from playing with a buddy, but then Blizzard changed it so you couldn't get Gladiator in arena, except in 3v3 and in the bigger team formats. Yeah. Zeriak, I'm sorry, dude. I just like the Alliance. I like the good guys in most games. Although, to be fair, in this game, I'm pretty torn down the middle. Like, I like the Empire, but my other favorite factions are Chaos Dwarves and Warriors of Chaos, right? Yeah, sounds good, Joe. All right, are we ready? Sorry about the wait. Okay, and it looks like we're all good to go. All right, next round is up. Last round of regulation. I don't want to think about the Burning Crusade coming next year. Well, I play hardcore mode. That's the best way to control your addiction. Because when you die on like a level 40 or 50 character in hardcore mode, you're going to not want to play for a while. At least me. So I'm like, that's how I handle it. All right, so we're advancing the Swiss. I advanced it. Don't click the button, anyone else. The website's chugging right now, but it's going to get there. In Warhammer Fantasy, the Empire is pretty close to being a good guy faction, yes. I know, like, people often be like, oh, there's no... But Warhammer Fantasy has some pretty clear-cut good guys and bad guys, you know? Sure, Bretonnia oppresses its peasantry, and the Empire has its own issues with, you know, bureaucracy and corruption, but overall, when you compare them to the, like, more traditional evil factions, like, come on, you can't compare, like, any of those to, like, what any of the Chaos factions do. 40k is a little bit more gray area. Like, the fact that the Emperor sacrifices, like, just psychers, like, all day and just, like, you know, there's some rough stuff there. Yeah. Okay. So it's loading. I think a lot of people are trying to refresh the website, so hang tight, people. We're going to be there in a second. Making sure I'm not getting pinged. Thank you. All right. So round 4 is live, and we have Via Anime. Great player. All right. We have a solid top-tier tournament player. I think number 5 or 6 on the leaderboard here. Goblins, round 4 is live. All right. Let's get this party started. Let's have some fun. We have our opponent here, and the map is going to be what? Something cool, I'm sure. Okay, and the map for today is going to be what? The Crystal Lake, so a pretty big open map. With a little bit of flanking forestry on the side. I'm a big enjoyer of Crystal Lake. I don't know what Via's playing, but we're going to find out in a second. Urson is here to block for us. Yeah, that's a good point, Bard. Absolutely. Cathea is pretty good too, right? Yeah, in terms of lore. Uh-oh, is it Slaanesh? Oh, God. Slaanesh is so brutal nowadays with the Fiends. The Fiends really do a lot of work. Okay, so we are playing Slaanesh, which is another top-tier faction. I'm ready for a fight, though. I'm ready for it. All right. Man, that unit's expensive. Okay, so let's grab you. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. All right. Can you dig it? I can dig it. So that's going to be the opening. The lore choices here. It's kind of annoying how you don't have like a Hagwitch legendary lord. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wish we did. Rasputin isn't a bad choice here. He could definitely go fisticuffs. Just bring him like cheap on the ground. You could also go Boris Ursus because he's anti-large and has magic damage and whatnot. So Boris is pretty chad as well. Let's go ahead and bring... Yeah, I think that's going to be the play. And we will slap you in there too. I think that's really good. All right, you guys are going to like this build. It's going to be freaking sweet. It's not going to be like meme or anything. It'll actually be pretty good, I think. Okay, so we don't want that. We can take this. Take that. Affect the units hit points, okay, and then do that too. I mean, no, Ostankia is a Hagwitch Lord. I'm saying generic Hagwitch Lord, you know, like a generic one. I always thought that would be fun, but in another life, you know, in another life. Okay, so the hardest part in this matchup are Fiends of Slaanesh. Those things freaking suck to fight against. The double Frostworm build is good here, though. It's very, very menacing, so you can get some nasty work done with those things. For sure. Slaanesh does love domination. It does. It does indeed. It is their format. Okay, a couple of those. Now, like, you really don't want to go good quality infantry in this matchup. You will have a bad time. I think like 1 unit of Streltsy is probably acceptable, but you're going to be dealing with a lot of their very scary cav, the Seekers. I almost feel like the Kislev heavy cav are just like a trap in this matchup. Because you're just going to get run down by the Seekers and like the Fiends. They just wreck you so badly that you're going to have a pretty terrible time. I think one of those is maybe fine, though you do lose a lot of ground bringing that. I think we're about ready. I think we are ready to party. Snow Leopards, no, I don't think they're very good here. Against infantry, do we have anti-infantry tools? Heavy war sleds are a death sentence here. They will get tied up by Fiends and Seekers. So a big no-no on that, in my opinion. What about Ice Guard Glaives? Magic damage. Maybe like an Ice Guard Glaive unit could be kind of cute. I'll think about it. All right, I'm ready. We need to use a different banner, by the way. We've been using the same banner all day. All right, let's fire it up. Yeah, the Exalted Demonettes are an issue. They do cause a lot of havoc. They cause a whole bunch of havoc. But we are ready to go. No, Flock of Doom is good. You could bring Flock of Doom. But like the problem is even with your Shock Cav, when you charge into the big scary Exalted Demonettes, they get wrecked on the charge, I've noticed. Yeah, maybe like squeaking in 1 Griffin Legion could be okay for just cleaning up chat. But Slaanesh just shits on heavy cav so hard. They rampage them. They have Furies can dive them. If Slaanesh gets a Fury unit and dives one of your big heavy cav, it's just dead. It's like, because they have like almost full AP values and you don't get to charge. So it's just bad. I hope we see how broken Seekers are here. I have some tech against them, I think. I have some tech against them. Via is also 2-1, so they have lost the game this tournament. So hopefully we can continue. But this is a good for us. They have a good win to loss ratio, so at the very least the tiebreaker will be good for us. Because right now we are literally like right up on the tiebreaker brink. We need to win this, and we need Attack Speed Enjoyer to lose this. That's one of the other players in the tournament. Let me show you guys. We can do the baseball math here. All right. So yeah, you can see these are the top 4 here, right? But these top 4 guys don't... I mean, their tiebreakers are going to be pretty good here, unfortunately, though. Yeah, but we're like right up in the running of the tournament. We're right up in the running. So definitely possible. All right. Slaanesh is doing the big think here. He's got the big scheming going down. I got to experiment with Lore of the Hag more. That's for sure. Akshinas are all right. They get hunted too easily, though. It's hard, yeah. I don't like to have anything that's like super vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing that's just a freebie. Yeah. In this matchup. And if they are going to pick something off, I want it to be like on the cheaper side of things. Yeah. I think Slaanesh DLC in March. Yeah, man. Slaanesh is going to be insane. If they get more units that are good, oh my god, it's going to be a big problem. Because Slangors will, like, every single faction has enjoyed their Gore unit. Like, Pestigors are one of the best infantry units on Nurgle. We also see the Zongor being commonly used. I assume the Korngor is going to be good. And, like, if Slaanesh gets another really good infantry in the Slangor, which will be immune to psychology, and probably what will it have? Probably an anti-infantry bonus or something. Any chance we see Inkari? Probably not. Inkari would be very risky against Kislev. Kislev does have good shooting, so you got to watch out for that. I feel like one is easy to defend. Potentially Harrison, yeah. But when you see my build, you'll understand why I probably am not going to bring that. It'll make sense to you. Yeah, it'll make sense. Marchan's optimistic. How long? It's been Thrones. It's been a long wait, but they had some back-to-back updates before that. But yeah, maybe it's budget cuts or something. I'm not sure. Let me message my opponent. Make sure he's here. Ready. Just letting Via know that I'm ready to go. Too bad the GOAT Professor Pone isn't playing today. It's very fortunate, or else nobody else would have a chance of winning. Yeah, Ulrich Rahl and his Wood Elves are #1 at the moment. They're doing very well. Boss Toss, Hlidden, and Scrambled Egg Special are all creeping in the shadows as well. And are we loading in? Looks like it. Sweet. All right, here we go. Didn't Slangors have bows? I have no idea. Full Bear Cav army? Probably not the strongest. A full Bear Cav army. I think the Frostworms are really good in this matchup. Yeah. So the Frostworms will not be in the starting army, but I do have some in reserve, so. Oh, I don't mind, Chris. No stress, brother. All right, guys. So our base army is pretty small. It's going to be a couple of Kislevites warriors, and they're going to be backed up by an armored Kossar. So that's going to be our infantry corps, and Rasputin's going to be leading the ground force. We have a Hag Witch, a Flock of Doom, and we have 3 skirmish cav to shoot, and double Little Grom. So double Little Grom here should be pretty nasty, because on this map, they can control and shoot most of the field, right? So I'm only going to play objective, 3 and 2 for now. But the Little Groms are going to be very foul, I think. And we'll just cast Flock of Doom on the magic blobs and all that sort of good stuff. All right, good luck, have fun. Let's see how this goes. Very strong opponent here in Via Anime. Yeah, Wood Elves are very good right now. They're one of the best factions in the game. Yeah, if you guys didn't see all the replays from the most recent season finals we had, I only casted the top 4, but in the top 16, Wood Elves were dominating a lot of matchups. Even though their win rate's only like 54 right now, they were crushing it. Like in the hands of good players, they're really good. High skill cap faction, 100%. All right, cool. So let's move up. Let's move up and let's shoot you and get the Hag Lady moving. And yeah, the Little Groms are going to keep this Slanesh army honest here, right? They're going to run. See, as soon as they see the Little Groms, they're like, nope, no thank you. All right, so we're going to move. And that's one way to keep them off our objective, right? So that's, you got to love it. Next up, we call it a Frostworm. We do see some Hellstriders moving around the outside there, so I'm going to be very privy to that. And we're going to park you here and park you here. And now your objectives belong to me, hopefully. Got to watch out to not get rampaged. Don't really care if Kostalthin gets rampaged, because he's an absolute beast. In the backfield, we are going to have the Frostworm and Dervishes to defend. So hopefully that's going to be enough to defend the Little Groms. Let's move up here and grab this objective, and we'll take Fire at Will off on both of these. And I think I'm going to leave one Armored Kossar back here. No, we don't need to do that. I mean, do I have enough to defend these is the question, right? All right, let's just go in and poke here. I mean, I might get rampaged. It's very possible that I just instantly lose a unit here. Okay. Those guys are sent flying. The cannonball does make contact. Yes, it does. Direct hit on those Hellstriders. Obviously, Homeboy's coming in for a little bit of fun here. And we're going to call in the... probably you guys. And we're going to get one of the warriors to hang back here too. All right. So stay and stay. So they're going to be chilling right there. Although, honestly, we probably came up a little bit too far. So let's just pull back. And Rasputin and company are going to be waddling up to this point. And my opponent's going to be trying to, end my backfield position, which we got to punish that. We can't let him just get the freebies here. All right, so we get the big scaries coming in, and let's get the Little Groms to start shooting the Heartseekers. Oh, those are Heartseekers. Wow, okay. That's very frightening. So let's go ahead and get you guys to do this. And get Dervishes coming in. We do get a big shot on them, which is beautiful. And you guys go here, you guys go here, and you guys pull back like so. And let's call in another Speedy Boy here to do this. Come down here, slap the base on you, and you get on this. All right, so as long as we can stabilize the Little Groms, then we're going to be okay. My opponent going for a big Alpha Strike here, but we're going to see if it pays off, right? Probably not, because it looks like we were able to get some really nice picks. And the Heartseekers are already very, very low, so we're going to begin shooting those and move you guys up this way. Rasputin's going to go here, move up, advance, and we probably need to finish off these guys, obviously. Yeah, so let's finish those off. Call in the Horse Archers, move up, and now Slanesh is going to go into like kind of gremlin mode where they just start running around the battlefield. But that Alpha Strike was a very dangerous play. Very, very dangerous. All right, so they didn't even steal this objective. So now we just need to start playing for this point here. So we're going to park a Kislevites Warrior here. We're going to pull a Dervish back, like so, and get ready to play the middle. And Rasputin needs to get to the middle as well. And then we just Little Grom whatever we can, right? So we will Little Grom you and you. Unfortunately, that one does overextend a little bit. We're going to keep these guys kind of back, and the Horse Archers can move up. And do we manage to get to the point and stop the cap? We do, just about. All right, so Dervish Corps, let's put them in control group 6. Pull you guys back like this. And in the meantime, you shoot here, and you guys just shoot whatever you can. All right, so Rasputin's going to go help out in the fight. Don't know how it's going to go. Those are Chaos Warriors and Cultists, so a little bit Thunderbolts and Lightning. Very frightening for sure. The Little Groms are doing great work. Let's get the things in the woods over there. They're going to be very needed in that fight. And the Dervishes are just going to hang tight and protect the Little Groms here, which are generating great value for me. So we got more Seekers coming out, so let's go ahead and double pop those Seekers. We're going to get here, and next up I'm going to call it a Frostworm at 1500 here. So let's get the Frostworm out here to defend the Little Groms. And cool. So Rasputin is here. It's going to be hard to keep pace with all these units. You know, that's the scary thing in this matchup. So let's get you to go head these off. You come over here. Once again, they're diving into my backfield very, very heavily. Looks like they're going to be diving here. My position there is going to be in trouble, though. I'm going to start taking some rough value trades. So let's go there. Let's go here. Let's get you to charge into these. And the things in the woods can go there, too. Let's get the hag to go here, too. So old Rasputin should be able to hold for a minute. I mean, maybe not. I'm not sure. We're going to go up there and try and get a Flock of Doom. But if we can get a big value trade back here, that would be pretty huge. Do we have another Speedy Boy? We do. So we're going to get another Speedy Boy and hopefully be able to charge in there. And Rasputin is taking it like a champ. Obviously, the Kislev Warriors are in some danger there, but a Flock of Doom is going to be very nice. So we get a huge value Flock of Doom on that brick, and we do fold up the aggression a little bit. Little Groms are still very much online. So we're going to just get both Little Groms to start shooting against the Seekers. And I don't know how that fight's going to go. We're going to find out here. Let's keep you back. You guys can keep chasing here. Little Groms are getting some beautiful shots. And now we do have the big scary there, so that's good. So I think we need to move over there and get some big Flock of Doom action, maybe. Yeah, we're up on value, but, you know, you never know with these guys. We're going to keep one Dervish here to defend. Keep you poking. Things in the woods get wrecked pretty badly, but the Frostworm hopefully will get the job done. And we're going to have a summon here soon, so we're going to drop the Hag Summon here in a moment. All right, let's drop the Hag Summon. Run away a little bit. Let's get you to come in here. Hammer these guys down. Let's get another Dervish popping up. And hopefully this ethereal unit can move in and help. Rasputin does have the self-healing thing when he's very low, so I'm hoping that he's going to be able to endure. You do manage to catch some of these guys, and the fast cab do arrive here. It's a really fun matchup, this one. Oh, I just lost. Oh, I just lost my seat. Dude, look at how quick my Hag Witch died. Holy shit, that's OP. Oh my god, you guys see that shit? Okay, I see what you're saying about the Seekers being busted. That was like an insta-kill, bro. God damn. Okay, that probably just lost me the game. We'll see. It's not 100% over, but that is really bad. Holy shit. That just like KO'd my wizard. Oh my god. I have not seen such foul witchcraft in some time. All right, let's call in some Kislev Warriors. Get them up here, and we're going to just run with Little Grom here in the meantime. Dude, that just straight up killed my shit. Oh, that is so OP. I've never seen anything die that quickly. Oh my god, dude. All right, well, let's get up here and help. We still have the Frostworm. I think just a double Frostworm cheese build would probably have been better, to be completely honest with you. Let's go ahead and get this, run away here, keep the Little Grom shooting at the Fiends, and the Frostworm is still kicking. He's still hanging in there. Let's go ahead and get on the Heartseekers and turn and fight, and then we can get Dervishes to help out here as well. Hopefully Rasputin will rally, but I highly doubt it. And let's get the cannon shots to shoot at the Seekers and Seekers. Maybe we can get some good fighting here with the Frostworm, perhaps. It is wavering. I don't know if the Frostworm has Buyer Blood. I don't think it does, so. Old Rasputin's back in business, so he didn't hear no bell. Yeah, with my Hag, if my Hag was still alive, we might actually have a chance, but I think now that my Hag's dead, we're probably cooked. Dude, that was a busted amount of damage, though, for sure. All right, let's get you in there. Have you guys charge here. Get these Warriors to go there as well. One of you guys to charge there. And we just have a couple fights we need to win. Let's pop the heal. You guys go here and fight it out. Frostworm's doing all right, but yeah, we need to get the Wyvern or the Frost Beast out of that fight. That is 100% the case. We do have a lot of like crumbling units, but overall it's not great. I mean, these are mostly Dervishes and they're just getting wrecked. And thankfully Rasputin's still alive, but he's just gonna die to Fiends, right? All right, let's do this. Have you guys shoot here with your pistols. And on this objective, it looks like we're slowly losing it to one of the cultists. Let's get you to clear this out. So all of our artillery is stable, which is cool. One of the Fiend units, or those are Seekers coming up, so maybe we can finish them off. We'll have to see. Yeah, losing that Hag basically just lost me the game. Like, it was kind of even until then, but you can see the value difference with Crumbling included is pretty much just that Hag. So I'm going to resummon it because I need my magic. Obviously, it's pretty much a disaster without it. Rasputin is hanging in there like a champ. Those little Grom shots are doing very, very good. And thankfully Rasputin does heal when he's damaged. Okay. Ice Guard, I don't know why they stopped moving. They certainly did. Let's see if we can put some cap pressure on that point. 1,300 for my Hag Witch. It feels really bad to have to resummon that, man. It feels really, really bad. Old Rasputin looks like he's broken again. Little Groms, though, were a good choice. I think double Frostworm could have been a very strong opening, too, just like a blob. But then they probably outplay us on the objectives, right, is the hard part. Ice Guard, yep, let's shoot those Seekers if possible. You guys come across and hammer them down. Old Rasputin is probably going to pay the troll toll now, so let's just run into the bushes and call it the Hag Witch. So the Hag Witch is going to be on its way. Let's go ahead and get this going, plop it in the control group, and yeah, now hopefully we can do a little something with that. So So Warriors grinding. We're holding on to the point. I mean, we do have a lot of damage dealers on the field. You guys shoot this, and we do have another summon, but we're going to get a Flock of Doom going right there. Dude, the rate at which those Seekers just annihilated me was brutal. I have not seen that before. I did not know they were that good. Holy shit. I mean, understandably, it's a very squishy Chariot character, so there is that too. My little Groms have pretty much done their job now, but I don't think I have too many chances. Losing my Hag just cost me too much. Like, I didn't have my Flock of Dooms. I didn't have my Magic Momentum. There was just too much there to lose. Thankfully, Kiss of Leadership isn't too problematic when you lose, you know, your Lords and whatnot. It's not the end of the world. But it still sucks. So we have a summon in 14 seconds. Could go drop it on that point. I think that's a good idea to try and take those out. This little Grom, let's see if we can get it back. Get some Warriors moving up. And summon in a couple seconds. We still have some little Grom fire. Yeah, the Slaanesh army isn't like huge, but it's definitely stronger than mine at this point. All right. So waddle on up to the point, team. Let's go ahead and get the Koljuna Spirit right here. So we're going to use that to hunt down. The Ice Guard Glaives are going to just start wasting these guys away. So let's get this. Get you on this point. And we could do a Flock of Doom. And yeah, losing that caster hurt, dude. That was really bad. All right. Is there some weird chance we can get back in this? I seriously doubt it, right? But maybe. Stranger things have happened. Let's get the Ice Guard to shoot you guys. Now I'm going to lose the Hag Witch again, because Azazel's coming for blood. Although it shouldn't be an insta-kill, right? The Seekers are what did most of the damage before. Okay, so how long am I Rampage for? Oh, it's just Narcissism, so it's going to be only a couple more seconds. Okay. Well, thankfully she does have Fire Blood, right, I think? Yeah. All right, so we're free. So now we're going to go ahead and just waddle away here. Let's call in some Dervishes to try and screen a little bit. You got the Fiends of Slaanesh charging up here. Let's get the Cannonball to start shooting them. We're sending the little Grom into melee combat, which is pretty haggard, but, you know, desperate times for desperate measures. And we can get you guys to go fight the Seekers. The Seekers are coming for round 2. They want to put an end to me here. On the high ground, what can we do? We could probably send some Kiss of Warriors. I'm going to keep playing because I've come back from games that are probably not this bad, but, you know, in the ballpark. So... All right, so that's one unit down for the count, and the Ice Guard Glaives are here. Do we just start shooting them is the question. We do manage to fold up a couple positions here. Okay. And we got Fiends creeping around the back, which is whatever. You know, what can you do? And that's just a little Grom that has no ammo, so it's not a big deal if it dies. Still, it gives my opponent value, I guess, but, you know, so it could be worse. All right, let's get you guys on the point. And the other little Grom is going to be attacked now, but this is okay because we can get a Flock of Doom Alpha Strike on him. All right, so yeah, the Hellstriders wanted that freebie again. Okay, let's Flock of Doom these. Hopefully that'll be some good damage. And the Ice Guard are grinding. They're trying their best, running away from old Azazel. The Hellstriders there are paying the troll toll. And let's get you to come over here, grab that. Just keep running with the Hag Witch. I do think the Hag Witch is a good choice in this matchup, though. She felt good, but you know, losing a big expensive caster in the beginning typically will lose you the game, right? How are the Ice Guard doing? They're hanging in melee. They're hanging in there. I don't really have enough to call in here, so let's get you guys to come try and help. We don't have a summon or anything. The middle point is going into our control. These are going to be Seekers, so we're going to park like so. See if we can maybe ninja that point. Hag Witch is still cruising. Yeah, you probably need to go Big Cheese Kislev with this matchup, I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe you need to go for, yeah, so let's lure them into the Warriors here. Might actually be able to get that point, which is kind of cute, but my opponent's score is very high. Let's get a Flock of Doom right there. Ice Chads, they're still going strong, and we do have another Dervish. So let's call in the Dervish. Nice, block him up. And the middle is in a bad position. Yeah, man. Sucks losing that caster, man. Feels bad. Feels bad, Anakin. All right, middle gets flipped. What do we call in? Warriors. The Frostworms are probably really good. I think double Frostworm. Oh, yeah. Chariots get wrecked by Cav. You can't bring the Kislev Chariots in this matchup. The Seekers are just, yeah, they're really freaking strong, dude. This one's only, I think, 1,100 from its first life, and this one has 2,000 from its first life, too. Brutal stuff. How are the Ice Guard doing, though? Let's see. I can't check their value at the moment. We'll look in a minute. All right, so we do have the dreaded Furies coming for us here. The Hag Witch has gotten 2,100 value, which is about twice her lifespan, so she's paid for herself with the Flock of Dooms and whatnot. We do have a fast call in here, so let's go get some Horse Archers just to provide some supporting fire. Get the Hag Witch over there to maybe help out a little bit. We do manage to fold those units up. Yeah, Azazel's damaged from something. I don't even know what hurt him, but he is damaged from something. Let's get a Flock of Doom right there. Horse Archer is going to do their thing. Pretty favorable fight for us there. I really like the little Grom. Maybe just one. I felt the little Grom was good, but two was kind of hard to defend, you know? So maybe we just go with just one. All right, let's call in a dervish here. We're in full dervish city now. The hag witch has died once again. Maybe sled Katarina. She's really hard to kill, and she gets like ward save and stuff too. That might be another option that's very good here. All right, so the warriors grab that point. We grab this. Is there any way we can go into the bottom objective during all this? Probably not. I really like the foot cultists. I thought they were extremely disruptive. My opponent did a great job with the foot cultists, so it was hard to fight. I would actually honestly rather play Chaos Dwarves than Kislev against Slaanesh. I've like beaten top tier players with Chorfs against Kislev or Chorfs against Slaanesh, and it felt way easier, right? Yeah, GG, well played. There's no point in wasting anyone's time here. Yeah, good game. It was really hard to deal with that, man. The sniping on the Lord, the Seeker is basically insta-killing. Nasty. Although Little Grom's really good. Check this out. We got 1339, 1600. Rasputin was probably a poor choice too, because Slaanesh is so good at isolating, and he just gets left to his own devices. So probably just like a single caster Lord, like a Katarine would be good, I think. Yeah, good educational lesson though, for sure. We learned a lot. I think in retrospect, sled Katarine, probably full cheese. You just go Katarine on a sled. And yeah, you cut this, bring Frostfang, Icebane's Kiss, and Death Frost. You just bring Arcane Conduit and Guardian's Call. And then you go double Frostworm. I think something like this is how you do it. Because they're gonna have problems dealing with the big monsters together with Zarina. I think that's just how you cheese it. Then you just get a couple horse archers, maybe. Defending a Little Grom's going to be hard, though. If you go with this style of play, I don't think you go Little Grom. Probably slap a Patriarch in there for healing, too. And you can put him on a Warbear, too. So Warbear, Salak's Lullaby, and the combat buff, and then just one Kislev Warrior, if you can find a way. So maybe we just cut Arcane Conduit. Yeah. And cool. So Salak's Lullaby, Warbear, and then Kislev Warrior. This is probably how you approach it. Yeah, this is how you approach it. So you go for this, just cheese on the objectives, value trade. I think it goes pretty well for you. You know, the problem is with this play style, you might have trouble controlling more than one objective. The Kislev Warriors were good. These were probably the best infantry choice. I think the armored variants weren't very good. Dervishes were really useful. They were nice for popping out and helping as needed. So what about Snow Leopards? Probably not. Do we go with another big cheesy monster? Because my opponent didn't even have horsemen. So maybe Slaanesh just doesn't bring horsemen that often. Like, you could go for an elemental incarnate. It does have the magic Mortis engine. This would be really brutal to play against, probably. Yeah, I think this is the way. Let me message my opponent. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh and see if we're at our top 4, ladies and gentlemen. It is go time. Yeah, armor. Well, Zarina, her chariot is she's pretty tanky compared to Hag Witch, but if Zarina did get surrounded, she would still die very quickly to Seekers because they have such high AP value. But I think this would be better. The double Little Grom did value trade well, though. We were killing a lot. The value in the beginning was even, which was nice. And then maybe we throw in Oath Brothers, but Oath Brothers do make damage at least, so they can crush demons a bit. Yeah, and then, I don't know, for our last unit, we just throw in an Ice Guard, whatever. You could do like a, dual-wielding Ice Guard, or, maybe even a Zar Guard is fine. Something like this. Oh, Zarina on a Frostworm seems better. That's true. Yeah, but that puts you... If I did Zarina on Frostworm, I'd have to cut this thing. Yeah, you could do Frostworm Zarina, and then that's pretty powerful. You could do the Towards Battle Hymn. Yeah, this could be really mean. This seems really mean here. Do we call in one Little Grom in reserve? I don't think so. Things in the Woods felt pretty bad. It seemed like the meta was just kind of swarmy stuff. I think we don't need Zargard. Let's get a couple cheaper variants instead. And do we have anything? There's nothing in the roster that costs 450 except an Archer. So, yeah, this looks good. I like this. I think this would have been much stronger. Would have been way better. But that's why, you play these tournaments to learn, because I don't really know how to play Kislev, so I'm still learning them. Still, they seem very strong, though. Kislev seems like a solid mid-tier faction. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the tourney and see how we're cooking here. Top 4. Yeah, triple Frostworm, because Slaanesh isn't great at killing monsters. They can surround them with Fiends, is usually their best bet. So, tiebreakers, what do we got? Oh, man, still a lot of people are playing. There is no rules in Dom. It's just CA unit caps. That's all you need to know. So if you're a new player who plays ladder, you're going to have more or less the same experience. Oh yeah, Frostworms are limited to 2 though. So yeah, in accordance with the CA caps, you would want to put her on her Ice Court sled. Yeah. So you can only have. You're right. You can only have 2 Frostworms. They have an individual cap. So you just go sled. Her sled is very good though too. It shoots magic damage arrows, which is going to be good against demons. You know. But yeah, in Dom typically the only thing you need to adhere to are the CA unit caps. We do have some rules. Let me show you guys here real quick. So pulling it up, desktop capture. So the Thunder Barge is banned because it has a really buggy hitbox. Like sometimes you just can't hit it in melee, which is stupid. Steam tanks and land ships are banned. Although arguably I don't think land ships need to be banned, so I might like unrestrict those. Gyro bombers are bugged. Oxyodal's bugged, and there's a way to spam magic missiles nonstop, rapid fire. So that if anybody does that in a game, they're going to get a game loss or kicked from the tournament. So those are the only restrictions we have now. I know the Eshin Assassin has some problems too, I've heard, but I haven't tried it yet, so we'll have to see. Hey, difficult, thank you. I greatly appreciate that, bud. Does CA ever do a discount for all the Warhammer DLC? There is a sale going on right now. There's a Black Friday sale. So if we go to the store, let me see. I'm just going to look up Thrones of Decay, for example. Here. Thrones of Decay. Yeah, so everything is 33% off. So Thrones of Decay is $6 right now. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, looks like it's $6. Is it? Oh no, it's Tamarcon is $6. Okay, so they're separate. Got it. Yeah, so they're all $6 now. It is 33% off. You know what I think it'd be fun to do? Yeah, I got a fun idea. I'll see here. Be cool if we could do some like giveaways for the upcoming DLC or something. Maybe we'll do it on one of the streams. I'll see if CA will give me some keys and we could do like a giveaway, like a lore giveaway where folks will maybe we can set up a bot and chat. First person to answer gets it or something. Yeah. There's a 50. I think the main game is 50% off right now. Yeah. The main juice. Yes. Okay. So what is cooking here? Refreshing. Very close to top 4. There's only 3 games left to finish. Unfortunately, some of them are determining the top 4, so we can't wait around. Currently, as it stands, let's see what's cooking. You have Scrambled Egg Special looking like they're going to be in no matter what. Ulrich Rahl, the Wood Elf player, definitely going to be probably in via anime. So Slanesh, Wood Elves, 2 of the top factions, no surprises. Charix may be qualifying too. We're going to have to see what his tiebreaker looks like. But it looks like, yeah, he's probably going to get there. I want to get into Empire, but I've wanted to get in Lizards inside. Lizards are easier to play for sure. Like a Lizardman player, you can just roll into a tournament with like a copy paste build, something along these lines, and then you'll be fine, right? It's like you can get you can do a Slan Mage Priest with Lore of Life, right? You keep his abilities. They're so freaking good, Slan. They're freaking amazing. You keep all his abilities. You just get like Earthblood and Awakening of the Wood. Then you just get like a battle line of Saurus, and depending on what faction you're playing against, right? You just contour it, but you just get a Saurus battle line, a couple of Skink skirmishers just to poke and grab objectives here. Then from there, you could get like a Kroxigor or 2. You know, maybe cut some of these, get 2 of these instead. Kroxigor, and like a Cold One Spear Rider, you know. And then you're going to be covering your early bases, and then in your reinforcing army, just mix in a bunch of Skink cohorts, some of the Javelin cohorts for capture weight. Feral Cold Ones are really, really good. And then you're going to want probably some Salamanders. Like if you're playing a lightly armored faction that's going to be bringing big stuff, you bring them. If you're playing like an armored cav faction, you can throw in like a Razordon unit, which is pretty good, right? And yeah, I mean, then you just kind of prosper. And then you can throw in like the Sacred Cohort of Waddle. They're really good at just punching things in the face. And potentially, like if you're playing like a Bretonnian type faction, you throw in Ripper Dactyls. And you probably would want to find a way to, you know, mix in some more Spear Riders too. So, you know, it's like another Spear Rider or something. Like this is like a vanilla copy paste Lizard build that would be okay against like most factions. It's just hard, right? Because you have all these Saurus with Life Bloom. You have really good anti-infantry. You have anti-large here, and here. You have tons of anti-infantry armor piercing, a lot of capture weight. Like, it kind of checks all your boxes for Dom. Double Feral Carnosaur and Trust. That is the Chad play for sure. I do owe you guys some Lizardmen. They're very fun. They're a good faction. Did Ulrich and Bostos are having a sweaty duel right now. Whoever wins that is basically guaranteed a spot in top 4. And that is the last game. Okay, so one game, and then we're going to be casting top 4 in the semifinals. Currently banging my head trying to learn Wood Elves. Wood Elves are they're hard to play, but they're probably one of the strongest factions in the game once you master them. They are insanely micro-intensive and very squishy, but if you have good micro and can multitask well, they're just super punishing. Durthu got some nice buffs last patch. He's a beast. You just like slap Durthu down on the middle objective and you just cackle, man. It's brutal. The least noob-friendly faction? Wood Elves might be one of the least noob-friendly factions. So Wood Elves and Skaven. I think beginners do struggle with Skaven a lot. Beginners struggle with Wood Elves a lot. Slaanesh is actually hard. That's not true, though, because Slaanesh, you could just go Hellscourge Warrior spam, and they're very good for beginners. So I wouldn't say Slaanesh. Yeah, probably going to be Skaven and Wood Elves, followed by Vampire Coast. Vampire Coast is really hard to play competitively. Like, they have a ton of bad matchups, like a ton, you know. Bretonnia also. Bretonnia is really unforgiving. Like, if you are not good with your Cav micro, you're going to have a bad time. Yeah. Bretonnia as well, yeah. I agree with that. Okay, let's refresh the bracket. Are we there yet? Okay, Ulrich Rawl. Wow, Ulrich defeated Bostos, dude. He's killing it today. He is out for blood. All right, so we are refreshing this. And refresh it one more time. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be heading on over to our top 4. Thank you all for joining today in today's tournament. It's been fun learning Kislev with you all. Hopefully you learned some lessons from my successes and failures. And let's go ahead and advance to top 4. So top 4, we have Scrambled Egg, Ulrich Rawl, and Blood Penguin, and B6. All right. Very cool. So let's see here. Okay, so we're going to have those two play right now for a spot. Yeah, because that's just like a leaderboard thing. So we're going to have Blood Penguin. No, that's actually fine because they have a tournament win. Yeah, they've earned it. All right, so top 4 is set. And let's advance to the top 4. Here we go. And should be getting there. It's a pretty big tournament. We're going to be getting our website updated sometime in the next I would say in the spring or maybe summer, which is pretty exciting. So Total Tavern's going to get a makeover. It'll be a lot smoother and with a lot more user-friendly interface and everything. All right. So top 4, thank you all for playing. So we have Boss Toss versus Blood Penguin. And Ulrich Rawl versus Scrambled Egg Special. I'm going to cast the Boss Toss versus Blood Penguin game. Lobby code, please. And they're playing what? They're playing Lizard. Oh, Lizardman. Okay, so yeah, you're going to get a Lizardman game here. All right. And Penguin. Right on. Let's have some fun. Dinos are coming, baby. Dinos getting to the top 4. There was some of you guys who wanted to see him, so... Yes, yes. Okay, so let's find the lobby code here. And the die is cast. We are there. So Wood Elves, Lizardmen. Wood Elves, Lizardmen, Slaanesh, I think, are in top 4. No, actually, I don't know what Blood Penguin's playing. We're going to find out. Scrambled Egg is... He often gets to the grand finals with weird factions, too. Yeah, he does. Okay, I think I found Boss Toss's lobby. Okay, let's fire it up. Is he playing Greenskins? Oh, shit. Oh, that's hyped. Yeah, so Boss Toss won an SFT maybe 3 weeks ago with Greenskins. I got to the grand finals of that tournament with my Chaos Dwarves, which are my best faction. And I lost to their Greenskins. It was a really good game. I got my Lord sniped a bit by a bunch of trolls just circle beating it. It was a good match. I think I uploaded it. It must have gone up like 3 weeks ago. But Mother Osnanki is the best kisser. Oh, God. Yeah, so Plague Penguin is on... No way they're on Bretonnia. So Plague Penguin also won a recent SFT with Bretonnia. How does Bretonnia handle... Bretonnia might actually be okay against Wood Elves. They might. Lewin is a menace there. Like, he's impossible to snipe and can bully a lot of things. Okay. His leaderboard position. So they are higher up. Works on backend. Happens to me all the time. Okay. Just doing some admin work real quick here. Okay, perfect. So that's all settled. And yeah, we have a Greenskin versus Bretonnian match. How fun is that? Yeah, this is going to be great. Kugath, oh god. Oh, Festus, you guys are out of control today, man. This is becoming Artosis chat. By the way, how many of you guys have seen Artosis' streams before? He's a Twitch streamer. He does StarCraft Brood War. He's like a famous esports caster as well. That stream is nuts. If you think it's getting wild in here, you guys should check that out. That is one of the most cursed stream chats I think I've ever seen in my life. It's extremely jarring to go from watching like a very family-friendly streamer like Grubby to watching Artosis' stream, which are the ones I watch. You met Artosis in Korea? Yeah, he seems like a nice dude. Yeah, I was at so one of my friends was from back in the day was one of the casters for Overwatch League. Mitch is his name. So he was one of the casters. He's the Australian guy. He's awesome. So he invited me to the Overwatch 2 arena in Los Angeles when he was doing casting. And Artosis was like sitting right next to me, but I didn't get a chance to meet him, sadly. Yeah. I'm most hyped for the Greenskins, yeah. Yeah, most hyped for the Greenskins, for sure. The strength it takes over to having the pylon mistaken. Yeah, I know. I think he's in his 40s, right? Yeah, he's a true OG. So we're on Itza here. This is going to be a knockdown, drag-out game, ladies and gentlemen. Just absolute Royal Rumble. The heavy calves slamming into the face of their foes. Let me see what Scrambled Egg is playing on the other side. Yes. Yes. Okay, so Scrambled Egg Special registered as SFT declaration. Here it is. Scrambled... Vampire Coast. Oh, poor Scrambled. He's having to play Wood Elves on the other side against Vampire Coast. That's freaking awful. Oh, God. And it happened to him last time, too. Scrambled Egg got to the grand finals with Vampire Coast. But on that, like, he chose this fate. Knowing Wood Elves are, like, a meta terror right now, like, he chose to play Coast, right? So it's on him. They're not going to bring multiple Lords. No, it's not checked. Unit caps is the only thing that's checked right now. When are we going to feed bronze players to the wolves? Oh my god, so yeah, I wanted to do that in Age of Empires, feed bronze players to the wolves, but they removed the freaking wolf feature. I was going to go back and stream it like a couple days ago, and I looked and somebody told me it was gone. You got to have tough skin to play StarCraft Brood War. You do, yeah. Old RTS games are very unforgiving. Warcraft 3 has a fair amount of quality of life, but the really old like 90s RTS, oh my god, it's rough. Yeah. I walked behind Tastosis while everyone at the big tournament thing was going to get lunch. Yeah, that's fun. It's fun seeing a StarCraft 2 tournament in its heyday. Yeah. Yeah. Early StarCraft esports were very fun. I remember following all the narratives. Like, how many of you guys remember when Idra played Huck? And Idra rage quit when Huck used the hallucinations to make like a million... was it Colossus or Void Rays? It was one of those things. God, that was like an epic game. But like... Yeah, you had like In Control, Huck, Idra, just the whole Evil Geniuses team. It was really fun, and the casting was great. I used to love watching In Control cast when he was the inspiration as to why I draw wieners on my streams, because he used to do that on like professional StarCraft broadcasts, which is even more ballsy, you know, because he was probably being paid to be there. Was it Void Rays? Yeah, I think it was Void Rays. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, In Control, yeah. He was cool. I met him a couple times. A really nice guy. Yeah, was the goat. He was. Yeah, he was fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Bretonia for the lady facing off against the Greenskins here. It's going to be Plague Penguin coming in to do glorious battle with the Wah. They're here. It's going to be a Night Goblin with Rampage. Orc Spears. Oh, yeah, that's right. So orcs couldn't bring spears before, but now they can. So Plague Penguin has a very unique style with Bretonia. He likes to stall you with his infantry. So he just has like layers and layers of just dog shit infantry and just gives them leadership with the Grail Reliques. And then just grinds you out, like with his characters and his cav, obviously. It's pretty good. In Control is big into Warhammer too. That's how I met him. Yeah, so when I was first getting started on YouTube, for the first time ever, in 2017, I got invited to a CA event. So they had an event in LA, which was like introduce us all to Warhammer 2, because I was getting started, and I shared a cab with In Control to the airport for that. And then we were at the event together, and he actually pitched, him and Italian Spartacus are who got me into 40K. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Orcs are like onions, they have layers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, the new Squig's coming? Yeah, it's going to be hyped for sure. Hopefully they're good, It's always sad when big monsters suck, It's always disappointing. Like, the Kadai Destroyer is just an eternal disappointment. I mean, I feel like the Kadai Destroyer could be better if you bumped its move speed up to like 70 or something. It's just so slow, and its turn speed is brutal, right? Whereas the Chimerian War Sphinx can just wheel around very well and just totally get where it wants to go and dodge missiles and yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the Greenskin army of Boss Toss. These are two mighty champions who are for sure going to be squaring off in the upcoming season finals. But we do have Goblin Spears. So Goblins do, of course, have anti-large now. And we do also have Orc Spears. The Orc Spears are going to be saturated in, so Greenskins utilizing some of their new toys with a lot of Savage Orc Airboys just to pepper things down and put some DACA in their face. Goblin character is really good. The Night Goblin Warboss is amazing. I think he's better than Skarsnik because he's faster. So he's going to be able to kind of dictate battlefield engagements all over the place. So he runs in, he rampages a cav unit, and then he gives whatever they're fighting anti-large with Spider to Bad Moon. And we do also have Tormentor Sword as well, which is very, very cool. Looking at the Bretonian mob of Plague Penguin, very, very cool color scheme. It's going to be a brick of halberds with peasant mobs and men-at-arms, Grail Relique to keep the leadership high. We have the Green Knight. So Gilles is here. He is back, and he's going to be defending the sanctity of his people, and he's looking extra awesome up on the high ground here. On the low ground, it's going to be Rapunce de Mayonnaise, and yeah, she's a great brick fighter. So you just kind of throw her on an objective with a bunch of, Grail Relique units, and it's going to be, like, impossible to break her. So I do think that that is pretty good. So, ladies and gentlemen, the battle's soon to be on. Let us know who you're rooting for in this glorious duel. The winner most likely going to be facing the Wood Elves in the grand finals. As much as a Scrambled Egg special fan as I am, I think that Coast is really cursed against Wood Elves. Although maybe it says a map that's going to make it a little bit better for Vampire Coast, just tar pitting the objectives and trying to win on points. I don't know. What are you most hyped for? Oh, the Colossal Squig. Yeah, I'm most hyped for the big Squigs. Yeah, 100%. The Lords, as far as the Lords go, I think probably the Ogre Lord, Gold. I'm just going to call him Gold because I'm not going to get my channel slapped by YouTube. No, I'm not saying it. I could, bravo to anyone willing to take that risk. But yeah, so the Man-Eater, as we'll be calling him here, I'm very excited for him, and I'm very excited for the Squigs. Yeah, I think it's a Quinel's scheme. Yeah, I think so too. All right, guys, it is underway, and the Men-at-Arms and Grail Reliques are going to be hustling up. They're going to be heading to Objective 2. And the high ground objective is going to be secured by the Green Knight, so Gilles Le Breton getting ready to grab the goodies for his people, and that's going to get him ahead on the scoreboard pretty fast. But the Greenskins are aggressive. They're going to move up quickly, and you're going to be seeing a million Orc Boy Biggins being called out. They're very, very good against Bretonia. The Orc Boy Biggins just wreck the Bretonian cab typically. Although, what the hell was that? Okay, so there was some witchcraft. I think it was the Night Goblin Shaman using Vindictive Glare on the archers. And wow, look at this. We get a field trebuchet being called out. So the Bretonians calling out their own heavy artillery here. And that's going to be bonking some of the Greenskins on the head. So a couple of them are left in the dust by the heavy artillery. And yeah, Bretonia is more than happy to just sit on two objectives. And the Greenskins are going to be trying to do a bit of a flank overload. So they're basically grabbing their troops here. And they're moving over this way, like so. And then they're going to just try and, do their thing on this part of the army is what it looks like. All right, another Vindictive Glare going to be going down. So using the traditional character sniping spell to just snipe random units on the field. And the Bretonians, their own WOG has engaged. So they're now going to get in combat with the Greenskins. The Greenskins are going to be probably regretting bringing so many spears. I mean, the spears are good, of course, but they will not be super efficient at killing the men-at-arms and the halberds and all that stuff compared to how the traditional Savage Orcs and Orc Boys do, for sure. Now, moving on up is Objective Dose, and the Field Trebuchet is doing work. The Green Knight getting some fat terror out, so Gilles scaring the Goblins, which makes sense. They're simple creatures, so they're not going to want any of that. But the Bretonnians are holding pretty firm here. In the meantime, we do see the Orc boys getting sneaky stabbing, so that's going to give them some nice attack stats. And they're going to be sitting at 44 melee attack. And Rapunzel's taking a bit of a beating here, so she better be careful. Wizard is going to be a life caster with Awakening the Wood and Earthblood. And now we see some mobility coming in for the Greenskins, which is going to be the Broken Tusk Mob. And it looks like Knights of the Realm are going to be the call-out for Bretonnia. As the Greenskins continue to push, value trading is very, very even here. The Broken Tusk Mob going to be flanking in and wrecking some poor, unfortunate peasant. So we do get a really big charge right here as the Squealing Hogs just trample all over the objective. But unfortunately, they squeal a little bit too far, and they end up running into some polearms, and the polearms might actually be able to drag some of them down. The big wall going down to the valley. That's going to be a lot of damage stats for the Greenskin army, but this is really, really nice here, guys. I'm liking this. We got this whole battle line of archers that are just all functional, right? And there's even some archers like on the outside here. And now we're going to get a bit of a pit fight. Now, normally the Greenskins would like this, but the fact that Rapunzel is here, as well as the Green Knight, that's going to be a losing fight probably for these Orc Boar boys, because look at the stats. Oh my god, they're blinded. That's so savage. So the blinded putting their stats to 0. The Green Knight is there with some hard armor piercing as well. And Rapunzel with her AoE buffs is putting the stat line of these Knights of the Realm up to almost like almost Grail Knight level, right? Like 40 and 38. So that's very, very good. The Bretonnians do get their flank folded over here though. Greenskin's able to break through, and the secondary line of the Bretonnians is in a little bit of danger. And now we're seeing the Knights of the Realm being called out. Fanatics being loosed. You gotta love to see it. So the Fanatics clubbing through some of the peasants and actually doing some considerable damage before breaking into the ground, but they did a lot of damage there. Knights of the Realm going to be attacking into the Goblin War Boss, but man, this archer line is nasty, and it's just like there's so much overlapping arrow fire here for Boss Toss that he is starting to take over in terms of the value trading. However, Bretonnian healing and resilience is no joke. They do have the Green Knight and Rapunzel fighting here, and the Knights of the Realm, and still a lot of polearms, a lot of halberds, men-at-arms still in pretty good shape as well, and trebuchets are still very much online, as the Bretonnian Knights that were able to kind of squeak past the Knight of the Realm are going to be charging into the Orc Arrow Boys. But that's what's really cool about Orc Arrow Boys. They have pretty big HP pools and respectable combat stats, so they are going to be able to hold their own, and the Night Goblin War Boss is going to be coming over, dropping a Tormentor Sword. Really nice play, and then Boss Toss going to be coming in with the Squealing Pigs. They get a nice charge in there. Anti-large, that is going to wreck these Knights of the Realm, who are also afflicted by the Tormentor Sword, so their stat line is lowered, they're poisoned. Pretty disastrous engagement over there for the Bretonnians, as they basically just lose a full health cav unit. High ground point going to be taken by the Wild Hogs, so Boss Toss and his Boar Boys heading to the high ground, so objective Uno is open. And it looks like the middle Rapunzel's forces are starting to buckle a little bit. We do see some wavering for the first time. The Grail Relique is going to keep that fight going a little bit longer here, but the Greenskins are going to be able to probably take both of the side objectives, I would imagine. And then Bretonnia is going to be very much stuck on the middle. They are stealing the middle objective from the Greenskins, though. They do have overwhelming mass here. Knights of the Realm do arrive, but it's going to be really rough for them. You're seeing Knights of the Realm being caught in really awkward positions. Sneaky Stabbing is activated. Boss Toss and his pigs are just doing so much better in the mobility fight. They're crushing all the Bretonnian cav, which has kind of been how it's always been. Typically, the Boar Boys will just crush Bretonnian cav. I mean, Rapunzel does help make a difference in that situation, and she is on horseback, so she's going to be kind of a mobile stat buff stick, but we'll have to see. High ground is looking to be getting flipped here. Definitely a little bit of housekeeping needs to be done by Plague Penguin, or at least sending these units over here to Objective 1. On the middle, Bretonnia does get it, but the Greenskins look like they're going to get it back. And this is also rough. Like, all these Greenskin archers have just been shooting this entire game, and they've just been nailing these men-at-arms with polearms, right? So there's so much damage coming in. And now we get a big, very decisive pit fight here. It's going to be the remnants of the Bretonnian Cav Corps fighting against the Squealing Pigs and the Night Goblin Boss, and also the Shaman nearby. Artillery in the backfield is going to be compromised, so like that's the problem. And what's really good about the Orc Spears is that normally if an Orc Boy gets into your backfield as Bretonnia, any Knight can just ride them down easily, like a Defender's Knights Errant, Knights of the Realm, whatever. But in this case, like, you can't really deal with an Orc Spear unit with a Knight of the Realm or a Knights Errant. They're going to be able to fight them off, and it's going to be a bad trade for you here. So Dacaline shooting into some of the skirmish cav here, and we do have, I think, Rusty Ears mixed in as well, so they were able to melt quite a bit. Rapunzel and the Green Knight trying their best to turn this fight around, but their numbers are getting very, very diminished, and the Knights of the Realm, the only reason they're still fighting is because of the Grail Relique, I believe, although it might be a little bit out of range right now. There is going to be a big heal going down, and remember, Bretonnia does have a lot of healing in this game, so that could be a way that they do come back if the Greenskin leadership starts to waver. Outside objective is taken by the Greenskins, though, and it looks like the Wolf Rider is going to ride down the remnants of the Men-at-Arms. And the Field Trebuchet does come back online here. So the Field Trebuchet is returning, and I would imagine is going to be jumping onto the artillery crew again. And can the Green Knight carry this game? He's doing a very good job. The terror routes are pretty powerful here. Awakening of the Wood is going to lead to terror routes for some of these guys as well. The Broken Tusk Mob is going to be fleeing, and we do get more Knights of the Realm coming in to try and run down the very tattered Broken Tusk Mob. But yeah, Greenskins have a lot on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Got a lot of Error Boys. Those are going to be tough to deal with. There's a ton of ammunition and a bit of a miss micro here with the Field Trebuchet crew. Okay, he did notice it. And Plague Penguin is going to be sending the Field Trebuchet crew to the Field Trebs. So that is certainly smart indeed. Meanwhile, up on the high ground here, we do see Objective 1 is going to be held by the Greenskins with nothing contesting it. So the Bretonnians really just trying to value trade in the middle in their pit fight. Very land battle-esque here as they have their big kind of stacked buff blob. And, they're doing all right. They are trading okay in this situation. Terror routes going down across the lines, but that's to be expected. The Greenskins are simply just going to call in more Boar Boys and more Boar Boys. Oh, man. Look at the back-breaking call-in here from Boss Toss, guys. We do see waves and waves of wild hogs coming in. So they're here, they're squealing, they're pissed. This is a proper Baconator rush. And yeah, that is a lot of wild hogs, dude. Oh my goodness. And I think they're just regular ones. Yeah, they're just the 650 gold ones, but honestly, they do fine against the Cav as well. And it looks like they're going to be committing to the fight again. So the Boar Boys do move in. They're going to be trying to salvage the Night Goblin Warboss. That's pretty much the only way I think Greenskins could throw this game is if they let their Warboss die. And he is getting a little bit beat up here. But if he were to die for, to the Green Knight or Rapunzel, and then the Greenskins started to have leadership issues against the Terror, there would be maybe a chance that the Bretonnians could come back. But as long as Boss Toss is very conservative and very safe with his Night Goblin Warboss, he should be okay. We'll have to see how it all unfolds here. On the high ground, the Boar Boys continuing to just rampage through. Knights of the Realm going to be having not the best fight for them. We also have some Wolf Riders who can come over and help out on this situation. But that objective should be pretty stable. Greenskins do have a rock-hard triple cap as the Baconator squad does arrive. And this is one of the dangers of having like Hero Hammer builds, is they do struggle with battlefield control. Sometimes they can win positions in individual pit fights, but if your whole build is going to be having a concentrated position of characters and relying on buffs, you're potentially going to be losing flank engagements, right? So moving up are the Knights of the Realm, going to be trying to salvage this, but the Orc Boar Boy Biggins will have an uphill trade, especially with the Goblin Spear saturating in. Still 49 of those little gremlins, and they do have that nice anti-large bonus, so they will be able to get her done. And looking around, I think that we'll probably see a tap out from the Bretonnians soon. Here's the thing, guys. I know Bretonnia is one of the weaker factions in the game, but Plague Penguin won a highly competitive SFT like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago with Bretonnia. They are capable of winning this matchup for sure. I think maybe some Royal Hippogriff Knights would have been good with like some healing for maybe like big Alpha Strike, Terror Route, Armor Piercing to like jump on those Boar Boys. But this game definitely looks over. Currently 7.2 value against 5.9. We do see the Greenskins with a massive amount of troops. Rapunzel and the Green Knight are obviously going to be incredibly hard to kill, but it's just going to be an objective situation. Even if the Bretonnians can start scrapping some value back, routing off some of these gremlins here, there's absolutely no way they're going to have enough meat to get through all these units. You would need a bunch of Knights Errant to try and run these Savage Orcs down and these Savage Orc Error Boys, but the problem with the Knights Errant is that they're going to get annihilated by the Biggins here. So uphill charge, the Bretonnians making a last valiant engagement. The long-lost King of Bretonnia has returned, but I do not think his mighty Dolores Blade is going to be enough to turn the tide of the battle here, as we got some Orc Biggins moving in, as well as the Swamp Fangs. Really good choices. Orc Biggins are just a nice generalist unit. They do good against big targets, but they also manage to crush Bretonnian infantry, so making them to the high ground is going to be good. And Swamp Fangs are also amazing because they cause terror, therefore they are immune to terror. So really, really good against Green Knight style play and good against Lewin. I mean, they can still be routed because of poor base leadership, but generally that's not going to happen. So we do have 1,100 points here. Bretonnia making a desperate play here using the Defenders of Fleur de Lis to try and rush the Rusty Arrows and the Savage Orc Arrow Boys on this side, but they're going to be eating a ton of arrow fire. Meanwhile, Rapunzel and company making a push for the middle. We do see an Awakening of the Wood going down. Really nice cast right there. Beautiful stuff. As it does a lot of HP damage, but this is very much like Theoden charging out of Helm's Deep to meet them one last time, except Gandalf and the Rohirrim aren't going to be coming to rescue them. It's going to be the Uruk-hai coming in and dropping the big orc clubs on their faces. So yes, 1,200 points is going to be what's happening here. We do see one Orc Arrow Boy unit get run down by the Defenders of Fleur de Lis, and potentially a second one's going to be taking quite a bit of shock damage as well. But yeah, it's a hard matchup, honestly. I think Greenskins are very good against Bretonnia. Greenskins are really good against other heavy cav factions because their Boar Boys are incredibly cost-effective. They have multiple rampages, incredibly cost-effective, cheap spear units. They have a lot of tools against the big factions. And, only going to be getting stronger. I suspect in the next update that we're going to be seeing Greenskins become an absolute menace for sure. All right, GG, well played. It was a really cool build. Rapunzel, Green Knight, Terror, kind of relying on that. But overall, the Cav game was so decisive for the Greenskins That's what decided it. You know, maybe on that same coin, you just don't call out really cav units as Bretonnia, or if you do, like a Grail Knight with like a regrowth on it or something. I'm not sure. It can be won by Bretonnia, but, you know, I'd have to go to the drawing board on that one. So GG, well played. Let's see what's cooking here and find out what's happening on the other side. All right, all right. So talking to you. And where are we at? So we have the victory going to Boss Toss. We're going to check on Old Total Tavern to see if anybody has reported the wins yet. Does not look like it, so the other game is still in play. So I'm going to make a new lobby. Turn finals. All right, awesome. Let's fire it up. And here we go. So Boss Toss. All right. Outstanding, ladies and gentlemen, outstanding. Legend has it, Bretonnian DLC exists in some dark corner of a CA building. So answer me this. What units are Bretonnia missing from Warhammer Fantasy? Like from like 8th edition or, you know, even some of the previous editions. Like, what is Bretonnia missing? I'm sure there's some dark lore nerds in chat hanging out that could perhaps figure it out. So the grand finals, the lobby code is going to be what? We have Chateau de Roquefort is going to be our grand final map. It's a very fun one. Would have been very flavorful for Bretonnia, but just imagine that the rampaging Greenskin Wa has taken over Roquefort and is now going to be battling somebody else for the loot. Foot Knights, I mean, you kind of have Foot Knights already. Like, Foot Squires are close enough. They don't have anything missing, yeah. They have all their units and then some, yeah. Foot Knights, I guess you could do that. You could give them, like, dismounted Knights or something, yeah. Doesn't CA have creative agency to make newish units? Games Workshop has to approve everything, yeah. Like, CA cannot do anything on this game, really, without Games Workshop giving it a thumbs up, so. All right, so we got Greenskins. Greenskins versus Wood Elves is actually a fun matchup. I don't know who's favored in that these days. I would suspect Wood Elves are, but let's see. So Greenskins versus Wood Elves. Has it been played this season? Yeah, they're 0-4 this season so far. So the Greenskins have yet to beat the Wood Elves in a tournament this season. If playing against Vampire Coast would be probably highly preferred for Boss Toss. That is for sure. Yeah, Brett Cav could use a little bit of milk. Yeah, I think they're pretty good though. Like, they keep nerfing the Bretonnian Cav mainly because of Land Battle. Because in Land Battle, the Bretonnian Cav could be more impressive, I guess. I don't really see it, but they nerfed like several of Bretonnia's elite heavy carry units in the last patch because of Land Battle stuff. I personally didn't feel like they were oppressive in Dom mode, but you know, you want every game mode to be good, right? Like I want everybody to be happy in Land Battle and Dom. So, but ultimately the casualty of that, Bretonnia caught some big strays in Domination for sure. They caught some punishment. Do you see Knights on foot turn? I mean, Foot Squires are kind of heavily armored, but yeah, you could do that. I mean, in tabletop, the Bretonnians have heavily armored foot Knights of the Realm, so they do have that. Yeah. Yeah, Fey Enchantress is pretty good for dictating mobility fights. That is for sure. All right. How are we looking? Yep, still waiting on Ulrich and Scrambled Egg. So they should be done soon. I know there's a little bit of lag. Although in my game with Ulrich, there wasn't too much lag. It was pretty smooth. So that was nice to see. All right, there we go. Right on, right on. And we're about ready. I don't think we've had a Kislev win this season, right? Have we? Maybe we've had one. I did win a tournament the other day with Kislev, actually. But it was an SFT with a grand finals where you get to pick the faction you play. So it was different. I didn't play the whole tournament with them. Yeah, Kislev still feels good, though. I think you just got to relearn their builds for some of the new updated factions. There's a chance of Vampire Coast making it to the finals. Gale Force, oh my god, dude. Wish I had the hand-eye to compete, but I cannot. You'd be surprised. Like, Gale Force, like, if you joined our Discord and trained with, like, factions that maybe don't require the most APM, you could probably compete, dude. You really would be surprised. Like, if you watch some top-level players play, like, some of them are micro-gods, but many of them aren't. Gale Force, thank you so much, man. That is uber generous, dude. And by the way, I know we got some different people on this stream, so check it out. If you guys are interested, my wife just finished one of her new designs here. on Astro Snouts, which is her clothing company. So she just finished a D&D alignment of dogs. It's pretty great. So I'll show you guys real quick. Here we go. Yeah. So you see it's like a classic D&D alignment chart with different dog breeds. I think it's pretty accurate myself. Let's see. If I had to like say, yeah, definitely border collies are pretty good dogs. And they're like orderly too. Like border collies will work on like farms, like herd the cattle, make sure law and order is in place, and they'll defend the animals against like, hunters. Well, against, animals that would prey on them. Yeah, I think it's pretty accurate. The Chihuahua is definitely chaotic evil. I would say that's one of the most accurate. Yeah. Yeah, so she's working on another design right now, which is the Mortal Wombat. So she's doing like a wombat with like a Mortal Kombat outfit on, which is going to be pretty cool. Yeah. But check it out if you guys are interested. So holidays are coming up. We got a lot of cool stuff here that Anna's all drawn. No AI nonsense, all hand drawn. So yeah, give it a look. You're looking for some holiday shopping stuff. All right. So do we have the other folks yet? Refreshing. They're natural. Who's natural evil? Neutral evil. Chihuahuas? No, Chihuahuas are chaos monsters, dude. They're literally chaos warhounds. We own a Chihuahua. It's just like chaotic anarchy all the time. Yeah. I think that's for sure the case. Okay, so Bastos is waiting with his greenskins. We'll know soon. I'll message the other two players. Scrambled. Let me know when done and who wins. They must have taken a lot longer on army picks and stuff. Understandably, makes sense. Having many border collies, I'd throw them into chaotic. Like chaotic good, you think? They mean well, but I've heard of things like chickens. Okay. So you'd say border collies are more like chaotic good. That's fair. Pitbull is neutral evil. Yeah. It's like, being around dogs most of the time, like you don't really ever feel like, for me personally, like I'm like I would say like an average size dude, right? I'm like 5'10", 190, 185, 190 range. Like I don't feel like fear even around bigger dogs, but there's something about like a pit bull, like a super muscular pit bull, even if like, I feel like they could just do serious damage, when you look at those things and just see like their heads are just like bricks. I'm like, oh God, like, those things can make me a little nervous. You have a Pomeranian, but she's a princess, has never bit anyone. Yeah. Well, that's why the Pomeranian is lawful evil, right? Because it's not going to go biting people, but it's like, it schemes, Pugs are chaotic good. That's what we have on there. The pug is neutral good. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it, a lot of interpretation. But it's fun. Border collies, when they get bored, are a force of chaos. Yeah. Husky lab mix. Yeah, Huskies are wild. I always feel bad for the people or for the Huskies out here where I live, because the summers get so freaking hot, and you'll just see like 105, 110 degree weather, and people walking their Huskies with like their long hair, and I'm just like, that poor thing, man. Yeah. People's desire man flesh. Who are we waiting for? We're waiting for the other side of the bracket. Yeah, they're taking their sweet time. It's all good though. We're hanging out. We're talking about random shit. You guys want to see the dwarf, the WoW dwarf? Oh, I'll save that for another time. I'll wait till I get level 20 if I live. Wookiee was a terror. He was definitely chaotic evil. He used to chase me. He used to chase me around the house for no reason. If Anna was nearby, our little like pug Affenpinscher beast would just hunt me. Yeah. Yeah, Labradors are great dogs. I really like Labs quite a bit. Okay, refreshing. Still nothing here. No, man. It must be a lag show, I think. I know there's been some lag issues with those two players in the past, so yeah, it could be. So we just finished season... Didn't we just do season 8? No, we're on season 8 now. Solasora winning last season was pretty cool. You know what's going to be fun, I think? Although I know Houseplant isn't active, and Void obviously isn't here either. I was going to say, once we have 8 seasons of Total Tavern, we could invite the champion of like each one to come and play in like this big Hall of Champions tournament or something, right? That could be fun. Houseplant isn't really active anymore either. Yeah, it's tricky. So he's not around. Yeah, Wookiee did take a dump on me on stream once, yeah. I was holding him during a Blood Bowl stream. You guys could probably dig back and find the VOD, but I was holding him and he just dropped a fat deuce right down my shirt. I was like, dude. Because he was like waddling on the floor next to me and just kind of like looking for attention while I was streaming, and I picked him up and was like petting him, and then he just took a fat one on my shirt. It didn't really like, thankfully it was more of a solid one, so it didn't like spray and just get me. But yeah, no, that is true. That's part of the lore of the channel. We have been punished. Yes, Tournament of Champions. Yeah, it was pretty gross for sure. Landed next to my foot. He was a menace. He really was. When season's finished, yeah. True content, absolutely. Wookiee lore, yeah. There was a webcam on at the time too, but like you wouldn't see it because like his torso was like above the webcam with my face, so you wouldn't have actually seen it. Houseplant, Housecat, and Serkia have disappeared into the shadows. It's pretty normal, honestly, Harrison. You know, people's interest in games ebbs and flows. You know, it's only normal. Especially the guys who are really hardcore, they often burn out. You know. Because, like, I play this game competitively, and yeah, I win tournaments from time to time, but, like, I don't practice off hours, really. I play a couple games a week, maybe, like, off stream, I'll play, like, 5 games a week, right? But there's, like, tournament grinders who are, like, sitting in Discord with the homies and grinding for hours to win major tournaments. I don't do that. That's, like, the difference between, like, an intermediate tournament player and, like, the big dogs is the reps they put in. I feel like a Wookiee is the kind of animal none of the Chaos Gods would accept as a champion. No, Nurgle would for sure accept Wookiee. He was like decrepit and like just all rotten and foul and you know all that good stuff. You already have 6 minutes. Bostos is talking to me here. Oh, looks like they just finished the other game. All right, we're gonna see who won. Dude, if Vampire Coast beat Wood Elves, I'm gonna be so shocked. Oh my god. Did Vampire Coast beat Wood Elves? No freaking way. Holy shit. Guys, we had Vampire Coast beat Wood Elves. Please send me that replay. Please send replay. Yeah, that's very impressive. That is very, very impressive. Okay. So he's going to be on his way over. We got Coast in the grand finals. Most top RTK players are mega grinders. Oh, for sure. Well, you kind of have to be to compete, right? Because you need to have like the breadth of knowledge about every many matchups. Like, that's Total War competitive it's like, you know, I would say not too hard to get into. Like SFTs are a very welcoming format, but like if you want to be a big dog, like a peak, you know, winning major events, you really need to grind matchups and practice them. Yeah. Wow. I know. No, Counts didn't beat Wood Elves. Coast beat Wood Elves. So we got Vampire Coast Greenskin. See what I'm saying about this being the golden age of like Total War like competitive? We have freaking the most off-meta weird factions winning these tournaments, right? And like this is even more disadvantageous to the weaker factions like Greenskins and Coast because they can't like pick and ban. They just walk into hard matchups and they just win them, right? That's very impressive. But to be fair, Boss Toss and Scrambled Egg are both really, really good. Jump in old lobby first. Yeah. Pone and I don't really practice. We just show up and just... Although I do practice Chaos Dwarves. I do practice them a little bit. That's the one faction I like get reps in with. And Warriors of Chaos. Those are the only two factions I would say I'm like practiced in that I can compete at a high level. All right. Greenskins versus Coast. This is like a Warhammer 2 duel, man. Taking it back to the old school. So many a faction war was decided by... Like if you go back to the... Let me show you guys the old Hall of Fame. So the cool part about Total Tavern, it's kind of a Hall of Fame for the days of old. So if we go to Warhammer 2 Hall of Fame, you can see, yeah, look at this. So these are the Faction War series. We have Coasts, we have Greenskins, we have Greenskins, right? So they like if you lump them together, they won, 4 out of the 10 Faction Wars were won by these. Oh, is that actually more? Yeah, 4 out of the 10 Faction Wars were won by Greenskins and Coast. I think Noah, yeah, Skaven also won twice. Hadrius was able to get 2 wins with Skaven in Faction War, which is pretty epic. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Everchosen was competitive for sure. Some of them were. Like the first Everchosen was not competitive at all. It was literally campaign players. It was just like a test. But the later Everchosens, 2 and beyond were... There was 2... Gabo King was very good, and so was Jonton, and they played in the finals of that event. So it was basically just like a best of 5 for the win between those guys, because everybody else was so much less experienced in multiplayer. Though Pone was pretty good back then too, Professor Pone. I'm not even joking. Like Pone was solid. Yeah, but then we got these. This was the most competitive here, right here for sure. Hey, Pona, there's a compliment coming for you. Just hang tight. The disrespect. All right. So, yeah, the Eternal Challenger League was definitely the most competitive format in Warhammer 2, in tandem with the World Championship up here, which was pretty big. So, yeah, to ECL, we had Falcon, Zyphos, Falcon. That's why I give Falcon, like, the most props, probably, as a competitive player, like, in Warhammer 2 during his prime. Because these were the most competitive events, the ECL tournaments. And we had Falcon win 3 of them. He also managed to win a faction war, or excuse me, an Everchosen event, and he won, several faction wars, I think. Yeah, he won 2 faction wars. So Falcon, I think, had the most major event wins in Warhammer 2. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Let's see. Void Law's had a couple. Yeah. Arrow had 2. Yeah, I would say Falcon was maybe definitely one of the GOATs of Warhammer 2. Probably like the most, like winning 3 ECLs is huge. He was dominant. Like all through this time period, through season 1, 3, and 4, like even in 2, he was like in the grand finals or semifinals at least. Like he was so dominant here during this time frame, and those were the biggest events. Faction wars are like, I would say still, I consider them semi-major events, but not on the category of like a true competitive finals. Yeah. All right. Anyways. Hopefully you guys had some fun with the history lesson right there. Yeah, Anticity was really good on Coast. Yeah, he won a couple faction wars for sure, which is a big accomplishment. But Coast was very strong in Warhammer 2 also, and he was very good at them. So let me take a look again. You ask if any of those guys are still playing. So Falcon, no. Flying Taco shows up occasionally. He won a season 5, which is a big win. Soothsayer, no. Arrow plays really casually, so not really. Toothsayer, no. Fistek, no. Hadri's did. Like, Hadri's played the first 5 seasons of Total Tavern and was constantly in the top running. So, yeah, he played. He's taking a break now, and maybe he'll come back. I'm not sure. But for the most part, no. Anticity played a lot in the beginning of Warhammer 3, but not anymore, really. It's like that. Like, if you look at the names from Warhammer 1 Hall of Fame, it's the same thing. People move on, The only active players from Warhammer 1's top player list would be Zyphos is still very, very loosely active. Like, he was active a little bit. And then, yeah, that's basically it. None of these other guys play, to my knowledge, anymore. Yeah. You remember Platy winning a lot? Yeah, Platypus is very good. I don't think Platypus won any major events, but he came close. He was like always getting second place to Houseplant. Like all the early seasons was like Houseplant winning and then Platypus in second, like right behind him in the grand finals. But yeah, Platy is extremely good. Like he just came back and played like a week ago and beat me pretty well in a game, and then just and then disappeared into the night once again. Ticity does have an active YouTube. Yeah, well, Ticity doesn't really play competitive multiplayer too often anymore. He'll show up occasionally. He's really good. He's just got natural good micro skills. He's got a StarCraft background and stuff, He's just a solid player. But yeah, I think he does mostly campaign stuff now. Yeah. Flying Taco will always be our Ogre Kingdom guy for faction wars and stuff. Yeah. The campaign in this game is a lot of fun. Zyphos. Yeah, Zyphos is designing some graphics for the channel, actually. He's designing a new channel intro, which is going to be like a witch hunter sitting by a campfire with like the Diablo 2 music playing. It's going to be great. So that'll be our new channel intro there. Yeah, Zyphos does some really cool stuff. I found your channel during peak Flying Taco. For 3 months, I thought Beastmen pre-Torix were the top faction because Taco won with them all the time. Yeah, he was good at Beastmen too. Yeah. If this game only had dedicated servers, I know, it's crazy. This game is like the best Warhammer PvP game out there, right? I mean, I know the Space Marine game is great and everything, but the longevity of Space Marine is like a joke compared to this game. The multiplayer scene here is actually pretty damn solid. If we had dedicated servers and proper support, like in a good, true leaderboard system, and yeah, it could be very big. But I think that if CA doesn't drop the ball, if they do a 40K game and like really advocate for the multiplayer, then it could be freaking huge. Because a lot of people who play tabletop Warhammer, I'm sure, would love to come and play that. Yeah. I always love Taco picking the stray dogs of factions. Yeah. He does a little bit. Yeah, no, Anticity's great. Yeah, he's a G. He's been around forever. Oh my god, look at that army. Holy shit. So it's a Goblin Great Shaman. Is that thing going to be on a spider? I suspect it might be, actually. And the very meta double crab. So, yeah, the double crab is extremely common. It's ironically, Doomdiver catapults can counter them really, really hard, which is hilarious. But we're not going to see those probably. They're a risky pick. All right, guys. Here we go. Let's get this party started. Let's have some fun. Yeah, I don't like fighting campaign battles that much. The AI is just a joke, right? Like, I feel like you could train a monkey to beat the campaign in Total War eventually. Like, if you could just, like, get... I mean, maybe not on, like, legendary difficulty, but... like, the AI patterns are the same, right? That's why I don't, like, care to, like, put a lot of effort into campaign, because it's, like, eventually you'll learn the movement patterns of the AI. You're going to learn, like, just the nuances of each faction, and you can just always win, right? You'll have to put self-imposed restrictions on yourself to make it challenging. But it's still fun to play casually, but, like, taking it super hardcore, it's, like, for me... it doesn't do it. Yeah, Soothsayer was great fun to watch. Soothsayer was very technical. I think yeah, Prime Falcon was probably one of my favorite to play because he would play off meta too. He would just like roll up with like a Dread Saurian when they were bad, or like a full Wood Elf Mel Gibson rush to win a faction war against Anticity. You know, a lot of stuff like that. So, taking a look here at the Goblin build, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Gobbo's rule. So it's going to be a lot of Goblins. And yeah, that's also another thing about campaign is like the range spam. Like I like how in multiplayer you see balanced armies, right? Like you have archers, you have cav, you have infantry, wizards, right? That kind of thing. Yeah, it is fun to put restrictions on yourself in campaign though. It can be. Yeah. All right, guys, back to business. We got a lot of goblins backed up by a lot of arrow boys, and archers have always been the hard counter against Vampire Coast because they outrange the bombers and the guns, and you just trade well. So multiple layers of archers. If you look here, you can see an archer line in the back, an archer line here, and then just a super wide infantry line. This is a thick build, and it looks like Boss Toss is going to be using a Goblin Great Shaman on foot with just Vindictive Glare. This is a wild, wild build, guys. Wild build. Now looking at the other side here for Scrambled Egg Special, it's going to be the dreaded double Leviathan build, one of which is going to be Celestra Deerfawn. She's probably the best choice because she drops the Knight Summon, so you just drop the Knights in the secondary line, and they can like kill like 2 or 3 archer units, so... very, very cost effective. Bomber mobs also annihilate greenskin infantry, but they do get wrecked by archers. So that's very much the rock, paper, scissors of this. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the full house. Let's see how this goes. Good luck, have fun. Who are you guys rooting for? Are you hailing the mighty, or are you here for the big old wah? Although a little bit of a little wah here, mostly goblins, but some orcs in the secondary line as well. We'll have to see what it's going to be. Balanced armies work great in campaign, just depends on what setting you use. Yeah, that's true. You can totally get away with balanced armies. But, if you want to, like, min-max, which, is fun. Fun for me. I'm kind of a competitive guy, so I like to do that. But, yeah, I get it. Balanced armies definitely can work. So, advancing up are the greenskins. The Mighty Wah is on its way up, and the Crabbo Stabbo is here. Crabbo is going to be stabboing pretty hard here, and they do have 150 armor. I would wager that there's a Vampire Caster in reserve. If you're going to be bringing these giant... Why do these crabs not have more HP, by the way? I feel like they should have more HP for how meaty they are. 9.8. I guess they're more armor-centric than HP-centric, right? With the 150 armor and pretty good defensive stats for a monster, too. 52, 42. Like, 42 melee defense is not insignificant, so... a victory poll? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who to root for here. I mean, these guys are both really good. I play against them both in tournaments quite often. And I couldn't say. I mean, the Greenskin army, I think, would be slightly favored against the Coast army I'm seeing here. And yes, the Forbidden Tech. This is my favorite against the Crabs. Doomdiver Catapults freaking rule. So they actually have really good AP values, and they're heat-seeking. So you just sit it on one of the crabs, and you just live your best life. So that's really going to be putting pressure on Scrambled Egg Special and forcing him back here. So I like that quite a bit. Rotting Leviathans do not have regeneration. They do not, no. So they don't have any sort of passive healing or anything like that. Advancing up are the Gobbos, and the first Doomdiver Catapult shot's going to be unleashed here. Let's go ahead and watch it. See this little brave Gobbo make his journey across the realm. He's going to be seeing the lands of Bretonia from an angle which... has probably never been seen by a goblin before. Is he flying yet? Here he comes. All right, so here comes the Gobbos. You can see him in the distance. Here they go. Oh, you gotta love it. Oh, right into Slostra. The other two miss, although a couple partial hits there. And Slostra does take first blood. So she starts to take a little bit of damage and is probably going to be retreating back here. The stagger animation actually saved her, but the Greenskins are going for an objective stuff. So they're going to be trying to pin back the Vampire Coast on every single objective, and they certainly will have that. I mean, they have a wider army. Although their entire front line is absolute trash. It's just goblins. Goblins trade pretty evenly with deckhand mobs, unironically. Although the deckhand mobs do end up winning just because they have so much more HP. So Savage Orcs boys called out. We do see a Vindictive Glare going down. Going to be used on the bomber mobs. Not bad. Does manage to take out 13 bombers. And he's probably just going to keep casting that to get what value he can. With 150 armor, they mitigate an average of... Yeah, they mitigate, well, quite a bit of damage. Yeah, they're still going to take the minimum amount of damage for sure. So, yeah. But, you know, Savage Orc Arrow Boys actually have some decent AP value. You can see they do have 7 AP damage out of their 29, so it's really not terrible, actually. And all 3 objectives are going to be going to the Greenskins. And Scrambled Egg Special is going to be pulling back right now. What is he going to be summoning out? We will find out on today's episode of Dragon Ball Z. Is it going to be a mortar? Is it going to be a cannon? Probably not a cannon, but maybe a mortar, maybe Mourngulls to try and overwhelm a flank. Like a little bit of sneakiness here. This would be the best play, probably. Like a Mourngull Scurvy Dog overwhelm on this side would be disastrous for the Greenskins. They have no defensive tools over here, and you could just use your Vanguard point to press. But you don't want to let the Greenskins get too far ahead on points. Meanwhile, the Doomdiver Catapult's still going to be shooting at Celestra, so she has taken a bit of damage, down to 9.6. We have some Gobos flying in. Let's go ahead and check. There they are. You can see them. Oh my god, I love it. It's so funny. Here it comes. Oh, come on, baby. Give us the Gobos. Gobos rule. Okay, that guy missed. Oh, looks like they unfortunately missed. You can see their legs. I've never looked close to that. Look at their legs. They're literally sticking out of the ground. Oh my god, that's so funny. What an unfortunate job to have in the Greenskin arsenal, right? But it is what it is. Bomber mobs are going to be the tech. So bomber mobs are pretty good at killing light armor, but vulnerable against archers. So we'll have to see how that unfurls. Looks like Vampire Coat's going to be making a rotation over here. So going to be trying to overwhelm Objective 1 and hold on to that. So keeping the goblins at bay there. Meanwhile, the Air Boys are trying to get in range of some of the zombies. And the bomber mob's going to be trying to take advantage of the weak side here. So you're going to see Celestra probably push up, with the bomber mobs following behind and dropping some fat steaming payloads on the faces of the Greenskins. Bomber mobs, though, just going after goblins right now. Goblins are in full retreat right now. Are we going to be seeing any more flying Doom Divers? Here we go. Let's follow. We got to follow the story of the Doom Divers. Here they go. Oh, okay, direct hits there. And those are definitely some hits. So Celestra did take about 500 damage right there from the Doom Divers. Looks like the last one does miss, but you know it's a good way of wearing her down over the course of a long game. It's like investing in some sort of a dividend stock or something. You get a little payoff every month, right? So not every month, but you guys get the analogy here. So shots going down. Rusty Air is still blasting away, and retreating back are the archers. As now the Crabos going to be moving to the high ground point. The Greenskin army a little bit out of position. The Air Boys are now going to be moving in. We don't see any back pressure coming in from the Vampire Coast. And Boss Toss, what are Boss Toss's Collins going to be? He's got a lot of money saved up. And now he's shooting away. So we do see the Rusty Airs starting to unleash some firepower. As the Orc Air Boys also put some firepower into the giant enemy crabs. So the Bomber Mob is doing good work, causing some havoc, wrecking through some of the archers. But now they are in range of these guys. And where are the Doomdiver Catapults going to go? They're going to just sit on Celestra the entire game, as Savage Orc War Boys are called in. So we get the just the general AP cav here, which are going to be pretty good at kind of holding a crab in place for a moment. Vampire Coast, though, able to solidify down and on this objective here, and they're certainly sitting quite comfortable. The Orc Air Boys, at this point, honestly, probably getting one Orc Air Boy to just kill each of the zombies would be good, just kind of wear them down over the course of a long game here. Celestra does drop her Knights Errant, so we do see the damn Knights Errant being called out, and where are they going to go? They annihilate some goblins, and Lance is couched for the Undead Bretonia, so they're going to be running through and getting a big Lance charge into the goblins. But more importantly, they're going to want to penetrate into the archer line, which is going to be quite disruptive. And the old Vampire Coast is, yeah, they're moving on up. You know, they're a force of nature, and I'm very impressed at how Scrambled Egg has managed to mitigate the damage he's taken, right? Like, even though it looked like his army would take a lot of damage against the Daka, he hasn't really taken much on the approach, despite all the archers. And now we have Sirens arriving. Sirens are very good against Greenskins. If the Greenskins don't bring the magic damage buff, which I think they always should in this matchup, the Sirens can just fold up your army and just become so sticky and hard to get rid of, right? Because these things have freaking 55% mitigation against the physical damage. So they're just going to swarm on these archers while the bats follow up and just apply the bombards, which is very, very tough. Looking at value trading, it's pretty even at this point. Scrambled Egg has a pretty firm grasp on Objective 1. Meanwhile, Objective 2 is going to be held by the Vampire Coast as well. Sirens pouring out of the coastlines and emerging to cause some havoc as the Night Terrors are also called out. We do see Fog of the Damned going down. What a cool usage. So immediately just gets a big leadership out on these guys. With Celestra and the Song of Enthrallment and the Charmed ability, a lot of debuffs going down. And suddenly it kind of looks like Vampire Coast is in a more commanding position, as the Greenskin army is being pushed back pretty heavily. Here we do see the bomber mobs getting on top of the archers. This is going to be a disaster here if these bombers do get that Doomdiver catapult down. That's been one of the few things that has been generating really good steady value. Although the Greenskins archers are reforming the ranks, and it looks like they are going to be killing these deck chopper bombers here. So the deck chopper bombers are going to be crumbling. There are 2 of them, so a bit of a blunder by Scrambled Egg Special to kind of advance those up and just kind of lose them. But although they do get the Doom Diver offline, and the Sirens are probably going to be able to chase down that Doom Diver crew, which is going to be very strong. Far side point still being held by the Gobos. So the Gobos rule over here, and it looks like their archers are still shooting relatively well. Broken Tusk Mob note, just Boar Boys on their way in. Got to be careful not to run into a bunch of zombies here. And the Pig Cav have arrived in the middle. We do get some Orc Boar Boy Biggins moving into the Bomber Mobs, but they're going to have a relatively bad time just getting hit with the explosive grenades and also being attacked by the Night Terrors, who will, they're anti-infantry, but their stat line is still very good. 52, it's very, very good melee attack, so shouldn't have too many problems. But the Boar Boys of Boss Toss are doing their best to get him back in the game here, just rampaging through the lines, and the Archers are also doing very good work. So now it seems like Boss Toss is counterpunching a little bit. He was the one getting kind of punched in the jaw there for a minute, but now the Boss Toss has gotten his business back and is getting a nice Airboy line, and those Airboys are going to be melting down the gunnery mobs. On the other side of the battlefield, taking a look, we do see objective number 3 sitting pretty good here for the Greenskins. A couple of the undead probably going to be folded up just by the side goblins and maybe these Boar Boys charging into them. We'll have to see, although that is a halberd unit there, so these squealing pigs better be careful. Looks like they're going to get their charge, and wow, they just trampled through those guys. They didn't even have them targeted. Okay, that was good. Maybe they will win that 2v1. Now back in the middle, Celestra using Fog of the Damned, which I love to see. It lowers the melee attack of the unit very low and also tanks their leadership, making them very susceptible to the terror routes. Objective 1 looks like it's been stabilized. A couple of zombies have pushed off these archers, and the Greenskins are pulling back a little bit with their archer line now. So retreating, Celestra and her other crab buddy are really, really anchoring it down. Where is the other crab? It didn't die, did it? So Crabo. Okay, maybe the Greenskins, while I wasn't looking, were able to kill one of the big crabs, unless I missed something, but I guess I did. Yeah, it looks like the other... No, here it is. Okay. I was going to say, that would be pretty insane. It's so hard to kill those guys. Very, very difficult. Hey, DS, I'm glad to hear that, man. Thank you. So Celestra looks like she's going to be kind of, throwing safety to the wind and going to be jumping into the secondary. Okay, we do see Sneaky Stabbin activated, but unfortunately Sneaky Stabbin doesn't get magic damage against the Sirens. But Celestra terror routing, pushing back a lot of these archers, and the Greenskins definitely are in some trouble. There's a lot of Sirens in their backfield, but Sirens can actually be killed effectively by Squig Herds. Their anti-infantry and their, relatively good staying power on the Squig usually gets the job done. More Bomber Bats being called in for the Vampire Coast. In the meantime, the Savage Orc Boar Boys are just running over whatever they can, but eating a lot of Bomber Mob shots as well as the Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mobs. And we do have the Rotting Leviathan just, kind of camping on the middle. We're about to see the points change, so it is going to be a change in position on the objectives here, as Scrambled Egg Special does have the 2-to-1 cap on the Greenskins, who did have them triple cap for a long time. Squigs are arriving up, and the Squigs will be able to feast on the Sirens, who you do see crumbling. And now all these Boar Boys are moving in to fight the giant enemy crabs, although it's going to be a disaster for them because of the Morngulls and the Deckhand mobs here. You could see these Haggard pirates are not going to let their overlord go down easily. Vampire Coast is such a cool faction. Yeah, they'll get an update someday, maybe. That would be really, really fun indeed. So the Gobbo front line obviously folding up. Nobody was surprised about that. And it's not a terrible idea, right? Because the Bomber Mobs will be crushing pretty much most of the infantry you bring, and Black Orcs are not very good in this matchup. Because, Sirens can counter Black Orcs, Morngulls, the big crabs. They're just too risky to bring, unfortunately. But looking around, we do see Scrambled Egg Special maintaining great objective control, and that really is going to be the tail of the tape this game. Although there is a lot of crumbling damage that isn't reflected on the value meter because it doesn't track like damage taken from crumbling, which has been quite a bit. Over here, we do see the Broken Tusk Mob engaging versus the big enemy crabs and getting a little bit of damage moving in there. Meanwhile, the Archer line has reformed the ranks, and the Goblin Shaman, is he going to be bravely charging up the hill to fight the crab? Mel Gibson in the Patriot style. By the way, that movie's freaking awesome. I just watched it the other day. Oh, it's so good. Seen it many times, of course. So another Vindictive Glare going down, and it looks like it's a swing and a miss, unless it's going after the Flyers here, and it is. Okay, so Vindictive Glare activated on the Deck Droppers, but the Deck Droppers do get a nice bombing run on the Arrow Boys. So the Haggard Bombs, I love Deck Droppers. Look how ridiculous they are. It's literally like these dangling zombies, like dropping grenades on the Archers. So yeah, the Orc Arrow Boys are going to be forced to flee the scene. And the Doomdiver Catapult, did it ever come back online? It looks like it did not. So I think the Doomdiver Catapult got routed. Big pit fight going down here. It's going to be Orc Biggins, which normally, of course, would be pretty good against a lot of these units, but I think leadership's going to be a problem for them. They're probably potentially going to get terror routed here. And yeah, good against crabs, good against Morngulls. We'll have to see how that all turns out. Goblins stabilizing objective 3. It looks like they were able to push off most of the threats, and now the archers are going to be collapsing on the middle. Looking at value trading, very, very close between these two gentlemen, but Celostra's Death Crab blob here doing quite a bit of work. Squig Herds nibbling where they can, and the Greenskins are looking very tattered. These Bomber Mobs are feasting quite a bit, wasting many of the archers, and the archers are distracted by them, so they're not able to put a lot of firepower into Celestra, who really, really is a big menace. But before you know it, it's going to be a triple cap situation, and Undead are pretty hard to get off points in general. they don't die super quickly. It's not like you could just roll up on an objective and just like route them off, you know, like you can with a lot of the mortal factions. The undead do have some pretty damn good staying power. So here we do see the squig herds trying their best to nibble through the bombers. In the backfield, the archers finally getting some of the bomber bats offline, but Scrambled Egg is doing a nice play here by running them back here, right? So that's going to potentially lure the attention of the archers away from where they really need to be, which is up on the objectives. Granted, Bastos is playing a dual-pronged fight here. He is going to be advancing on objective 2, and if he does get another objective back here soon, he might have a decent chance at winning this game. Certainly not going to be easy. Celestra and her giant crab people are not going to let that go. And what do we have being called in now? Sirens for capture weight. Vampire Coast really needs to hold a little bit longer. It does seem like the Greenskins are getting some momentum again, as they have their archers mostly online and pretty good ammunition reserves on those bad boys. Squig herds and the Gobos, they're ruling up here, and the archers just teeing off on the 15 armor of the deckhand mobs, I believe. Oh, shit, never mind. So these are depth guard pole arms. Oh, that's a kind of a cool late game tech against like the Squigs and the Boar Boys, which you're going to be seeing in the mid game. Calling in an elite unit here is not a bad idea, and they're somewhat resilient against missiles. They do have at least 90 armor and regeneration, so they're not helpless. Granted, still, you don't want to be getting them shot by arrows. It still sucks. So Greenskins are resurgent, pushing forward. We see a lot of crumbling on the undead lines, but is it going to be too little too late? We're going to have to find out. On the backside, we see Sirens coming up, more bomber mobs and dickhand mobs. So just capture weight. Granted, Vampire Coast capture weight has 23 movement speeds. That's one of the bigger weaknesses of the faction overall, I would say. So Morgul's are feasting, getting a big terror out. Fog of the Damned going down. Man, Scrambled Egg's so fun. Using unorthodox tactics here, for sure. I don't think Fog of the Damned is very meta. Usually it's just Tide Call spam, followed up by like a Vampire Caster in reserve to heal your crabs, but that is very, very good. And he's making it look nice. So points, we do have almost 1,100 points here, man. Greenskins are going to have to hurry and get an objective here quickly. Do they have any opportunities to get objectives? We see Squigs coming up. And these are depth guard polearms, right? So, you know, normally the Greenskins are having a very easy time of getting through, but the depth guard polearms are going to make very quick work of these mushroom people because Squigs are considered large, even though they're a little bit smaller. But they are considered large entities, so they really suffer against like halberd type units, right? So yeah, the depth guard just going to want to run back now, get on the objective. Goblins also have absolute shit capture weight, so they're not going to be able to really wrestle objectives super easily. Greenskins quite literally just have to like kill their way to these points. And we do have another depth guard polearm on this side, which could actually threaten this objective because Celestra is taking down the threats here. So Scrambled Egg might be able to just get them on this point, right? And then what you do from there is you call in a Scurvy Dog just to immediately get like 9 or 10 capture weight. And you just flip that objective now that you have the advantageous position over there, which would be very, very strong. Looking like it's going to be a coast victory for the old Scrambled Egg special. Yeah, I think that he's showing that they still got some bones, man. Vampire Coast, I mean, he defeated Wood Elves last round. Ulrich Rahl is an extremely good tournament player. Ulrich has pretty much been top 16 in the world, I think, every season of Total Tavern since like the launch of Warhammer 3. And yeah, so he's not an easy foe on Wood Elves, right? But then we see Scrambled Egg come in with his dreaded Vampire Coast and somehow get it done. So Archer's shooting away, melting down one of the zombie pirate mobs here. We see the little Gobbo fighting it out. This is certainly not a great fight for Senor Gobbo. And right as we say that, he gets punted away from the Morgul. So the wacky inflatable arm boys, they look like those used car dealership decorations. But they're coming in to lay a spanking on the Goblin Great Shaman. And if he were to die, it would probably be GG. Do the Greenskins have any play on this point? Unfortunately, he had to respond with rapid response units. So he gets broken test mob and some freaking boar boys up here, which is rough. I mean, a full surround in the depth guard, maybe he could kill them, but probably just shooting them with archers and maintaining capture weight is going to be your best bet. The middle is in flux here. We do get another Vindictive Glare going down, and some of the air boys are going to be heading to the middle, but the Vampire Coast will be arriving soon with 20 capture weight. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, and then there's another 10 coming over here. Greenskins are getting folded up. They just can't deal with Celestra. Like, look here. Celestra's rampaging. The other enemy crab is rampaging over here. There's just too many things that are going very, very well for the forces of the coast. This objective here is being held by the depth guard. They have their halberds out for is it Stromfels? Stromfels their boy? It is, right? That's kind of the deity they worship, right? The god of the sea. I think it is. Am I wrong? Stromfels or yeah, it must be that one. Yeah, all hail the mighty indeed. Crabs pushing it back. Complete route for the Greenskins. That's GG. Looking around, Greenskins have a couple loose archer units, but it's going to be approaching 1,400 points, ladies and gentlemen. Crabs do get in, but Celestra has endured, and she's been a menace this game. Up with the Fog of the Damned and just kind of rampaging. About 425 kills, 3,500 value on Celestra is pretty insane. I mean, being surrounded by these anti-large pigs is not good. You can see she's hemorrhaging HP with sneaky stabbing, but it's a little bit too late. This play earlier would have been very nice. Sirens, of course, going to be causing issues. Bomber mobs are going to be in guard mode, ripping fat salvos into the face of those broken test mobs. Slosser down to 3,600. Could be in a position to die, but I just think it doesn't matter at this point, right? We see the Orc Biggins may be able to wrestle this, but nope, not going to happen. The Dickhand mobs will be arriving right here, and on the other side, this objective is going to be flipping. So he committed everything to the middle, and it is literally impossible now. So GG, well played. Landlubbers, that's right. Stromfell's into Gash. Okay, Stromfell's is way cooler, though. Come on. Ocean God. It's the Mermaider, dude. GG, well played. Awesome Vampire Coast game. Like, it's funny, when you look at his build in the beginning, you're like, he's going to lose. But, like, his positioning and the way he takes fights, the angles to make the archers a little bit... So, like, the idea is he fights on one flank, and then all the archers on the opposite flank start moving in. And then in doing so, they, like, blob up. And then he hits them with bomber bats and other things. It was very, very clean. Very clean indeed. I think maybe, like, a more stalwart front line. Like, the goblins were cool, but maybe mixing in some orc boys would have been good. Like, just a couple. Maybe, like, 2 less archers and get some orc boy units. Like, even though they get wrecked by crabs, they will at least beat down the dickhand mobs way faster. I don't know, really, to be honest, how I would approach that. I mean, I played this matchup with Subutai recently and was able to get it with the Doomdiver build. But, like, on that same coin, like, Subutai isn't as experienced as Scrambled Egg is on Coast. So it's not really an apt analogy. Yeah. The crabs were beast mode. Look at that. 335, and then Slosser got 36. Fog of the Damned was pretty cool. Well, GG. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that tournament. It was a lot of fun. This will be the last Total War stream until we are allowed to show you the updates and everything. So that will be very soon. That's going to be on the 4th, which is going to be what day of the week? So today's the 1st. So it'll be Thursday. I don't know what year it is. I don't even know what year it is, dude. Yeah. But we'll be streaming some other stuff the next few days probably, and I'm very excited. It's going to be really fun. We're going to have the Creative Assembly tournament is going to be coming up too. So a lot of fun stuff on the horizon. And internet's freaking out here. Should come back here. It was the first time of the stream. Yeah. So very well played to Scrambled Egg Special. Absolute Giga Chad coming in and winning with one of the weaker, I wouldn't say weaker, but lower mid-tier factions and beating I'm sure he beat a lot of sweaty players on their mains, right? So that was very, very impressive. All right, guys. Adios. You guys freaking rock. The 4th is Wednesday. Okay, it's going to be Wednesday then. And we will see you guys on the other side. Please do drop a like on the way out. It's perfect timing because now my internet's acting up. So this is great. So I'm going to peace out. But do drop a like on the way out. It helps quite a bit. Adios. Do widzenia, my friends. And we will see you in the next few days. Cheers and adios.